What's going on, everyone? It is Tuesday, October 18th, 2022, and this is episode 17 of Punch.
16. We missed. We missed.
Oh, yeah, we missed last week.
Yeah,
All right,
so, yeah.
Scratch that. Episode 16 of Punch the Air. I'm your host, Brophy, once again. Cole T-Bone Lockley to my right, as always. And for the first time, new guest, Dylan Davis.
It's a pleasure.
Pleasure to be here.
Coming out of D-Town.
Honored.
Welcome.
And coming on, making an appearance for, what is it, like the third or fourth time now?
I think it's
quite
like
a few times.
my fourth, probably. Yeah,
think
probably
so.
my fourth.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Ethan
We're
Big
adding
E
up.
Davis.
They're adding up. Thank you.
Biggie's-
Thanks for having me, bro.
Of course. Big E's back.
He's back.
Out of the sea that never sleeps.
What happened to the UFC poster? Derek Lewis poster.
Oh, it keeps like fucking
Where's the
falling
Black
down.
Beast?
I need to get like some better tape for it to hold it up because like regular tape, it just keeps falling, and I don't want to like rip it off and ruin it. So I have it like laying down.
We've been missing your picks. Your Big E's corner.
We're doing it this week for the big fights.
Okay,
The fights have just
yeah.
been.
You got
Yeah,
two
the
this
fights have been
weekend.
super shit of late, like just super shit. So I didn't really
It's a
want to
good
waste
fight
my
this
time with
weekend.
it.
Oh, yeah.
The
it's
lots
good.
of good ones.
The
So
last,
yeah,
the last
Nope.
three fights in the card are going to be fucking insane.
Yeah, the whole card's pretty dang loaded. So it'll be a really good fight night for sure. I know I'll be going out to watch it for damn sure. So
Yeah, there was some damn
Yeah.
nice curtains, though. Those are good
hey,
curtains.
thank you. Thank you.
All
That's
right.
what you get when your mom's a designer right there. Get good,
Oh, yeah.
get good curtains. Yeah,
Only-
there you go.
Only the
Davis.
best. Only the best.
I'm a Davis.
All right, so we're going to kick things off. We're going to recap a few games from this past weekend. Then Cole's got a juicy power rankings list for
juicy.
us. And then we've got a panic meter, 1 through 10, for some NFL teams on the brink of failure right now. We got our Week 7 against the spread picks and a 4-round beer draft to wrap things up.
It's been too long since we've talked about any alcohol.
Oh, yeah,
on the
exactly.
show.
Yeah, that's a real problem here. We need alcohol, really, we need to talk about that.
Yeah.
All
Should
right.
always be included.
Absolutely.
Big,
All
you
right.
got Happy Dads on deck this time or what?
No, not tonight. I have to get up super early for work,
Okay.
so I
We ain't
can't. I
we ain't
can't be
drinking a 12-pack tonight?
Sober Sally tonight.
No, yeah, we're sober Sandy tonight. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. All right. The first game we're going to talk about, Patriots at Browns. Patriots win 38-15. Patriots kicked their ass. Patriots kicked the Lions' ass last week. The Browns look like shit. But more importantly, Bailey Zappi played his fucking ass off. 300-plus yards passing. Another dominant victory for the Pats. Is Bailey Zappi going to go ahead and take Mac Jones' job?
I know everyone is like saying that he should, but I do not think he should at all. I went back and I watched the full. I watched all of his throws, and like he didn't look bad at all. He looked good. He's got zip on his ball. Like he made the right decisions. But like the first half, they didn't get one pressure. Second half, they got a little bit of pressure, but he was making the right throws. He was making the right. He wasn't turning the ball over. He did his job, and he looked good. He looked like a young Baker Mayfield, which is not bad by any stretch of the imagination. But I do not think this guy's any better than Mac Jones, and I don't think in the first 3 weeks Mac Jones played, he was getting pressured every play. Their O-line sucked. This Matt Patricia, we also got to remember, was calling his first game as an OC. Maybe somehow he's figured out a little bit. But no, not to shit on Zappy, but I just don't think that he's ready to surpass Mac Jones. I think Mac did enough last year to where this is still his job.
I certainly agree. I think ultimately it comes down, is Bailey Zappi that much better than Mac?
I don't think so.
I don't think anybody
I don't
is
think
for
so
sure
either.
on that. Mac Jones, younger, just as efficient, just as accurate, if not better in those two categories. I just don't think that Zappi has shown enough, has wowed enough people. Yeah, he threw for 309 yards, but is that enough to solidify your job as the number one? And I truly just don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, you even look, too, like they had their biggest play of the season. It was 53 yards to Jonnu Smith, who he had him for like a 5-yard route, ran it.
He was open as shit too.
Yeah, the 30-yard touchdown to Hunter Henry, wide open. I could have made that fucking throw. I think you go down to Briar Hill Middle School and get the 7th-grade quarterback to make that throw.
He's slinging that thing. Yeah.
Yeah, literally. And the thing about Zappy, too, he can't really move. He's not athletic, and he's also tiny. He's like 6 foot, 6'1". And he got like 3 or 4 balls swatted at the line, too. So, I mean, I like Mac Jones better personally, and I think the hype around him is, type of shit for talk shows to just talk about. And
I mean, he's got
clickbait.
a great name.
He does have a great name. I mean, the
But yeah,
Zapster.
That's a top 3 football name in the league right now,
Yeah,
for
For
sure.
quarterback.
Yeah.
because I'm Zeppy, like that shit's pretty clever. If I had to say so myself, I was thinking of that too.
Can we
But
clip that and make that the intro?
but in
Even the
terms of what
clap.
I think, I think that there's two sides to this. I think that Mac Jones should be the starting quarterback. I think they've invested a little bit in him. I think it's a little early to give up on him in his second year already. Yeah, he hadn't played too well to start the year, but it's also just a new system he was learning. Given Bailey Zappi had that time to learn the system, I think Mac Jones could been putting up pretty similar numbers Bailey was putting up during this time, considering they were both on the same track with like game plans and stuff. Just one's practicing with the ones, one's practicing with the twos. But really, my thing with this is I do think that Zappi's going to stay the starter, though. And the only reason I say that is because with the New England Patriots' next game against the Bears, if they perform very well and kind of blow them out of the waters, which they lead the NFL in point margin over the last couple of weeks. So if they kind of blow them out again, there's still really no reason to rush Mac. And he's not playing this week again, from what they've been saying about him out of New England, basically, and how he's progressing. And then also with that, too, they play the Jets the week after that. Now, they probably want Mac Jones ready to go.
Hey, Jets
but
are
if
heating
the,
up.
But
Jets
if
ain't bad,
the
man.
offense,
Heating up.
exactly, if the Patriots keep rolling like they've been rolling going into that Jets game, I think it'd be kind of risky just to throw Mac in there into that situation while the team's hot and been rolling with Zappi. Now, obviously, Mac could come in there and just execute the same as Zappi, but we've seen Belichick in the past. He'll go with the hot hand. He has no problems going with the hot hand. And if Bailey Zappi's picking up W's, and if he puts up another like 250-yard game, 2 touchdowns, no picks, over like 55 QBR basically, I mean, I think honestly, like depending on how that team goes around this next stretch of games, he could end up being the starter. And if they win against the Jets and Mac Jones isn't there, I'm almost more than certain that Bailey Zappi will stay the starter, even though I don't think he should be the starter.
You almost wonder if they just want to keep it going until the wheels fall off with Zappi.
Exactly.
Yeah, they'll have to ride the
And
hot
Bill's
hand.
been known to do that too. He'll just keep the wheels going, feed who's hot. So
Yeah.
that's just kind of where I'm thinking this is going. I don't think he should start, but I think if they're winning and they're executing with how Bill likes to coach and how he's been throughout the years, I don't see any reason why he would abandon this all of a sudden just to please one first-round, second-year quarterback when he put to the bench an all-pro quarterback in Drew Bledsoe once for Tom Brady. So it's really one of those things I think will happen but shouldn't happen.
Well, especially it looks like Matt Patricia has found his groove as an offensive play caller.
Who
Definitely
would have
just
thought we would have said that?
yeah, honestly.
Who would have?
I mean,
Who would have? Honestly, we were all shitting on him. to
Joe
start the
Judge.
year.
Him and Joe Judge. Good God.
Well, I mean, they're calling a run-heavy script, and that's leading. And since they can run the ball, it's leading to a lot of easy play action. And I think either Zappi or Mac Jones would succeed with the way they're running the ball right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think they should just ride the hot hand, especially if Zappi's able to start and beat the Jets.
Exactly.
I mean,
that
yeah,
would be
if
impressive.
If
That's
they
a big
keep
game.
winning-
That's
if
a
they
big
keep winning,
game.
They can't pull them, obviously.
No, because
But
Mac's not
they
that
can't.
good to where if they're winning, you can't pull them.
Yeah, Mac's not doing anything to win you games. He's
No.
not running with his feet, obviously. He's not throwing balls 65 yards.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing everything by the script, no mistakes, and that's how they're winning their football games with him.
I think Mac's a glorified game manager, and I think Zappi kind of is as well. But yeah, the momentum in the hot hand, like if he keeps it going, then that's what you got to roll with.
And I mean,
Yep.
it's fucking Zappi hour, baby.
Yeah.
Come on,
I mean, the
Yeah,
name's
it's a
great.
Zappi hour.
The name's great.
name's great.
New
right.
England loves him too. The fans love him also, so that's going to be a big thing too, because the New England media is all over the Patriots, as you can imagine. So that's also going to be a thing with it too, I think.
Now, if Zappi does, let's say he wins the next few, right, and then they start him, and let's say he starts the whole year, where does that leave Mac Jones? Are they trading Mac Jones after this season?
I mean, they'd have to have.
I think
they'd
would-
have to make the playoffs and win a playoff game or two for that to happen.
I think it
Game or
would be.
two? I think if Zappi, let's say, wins this week, beats New York Jets, they make the playoffs, he could lose in the wild card, and I think going into the next season would be okay. Zappi's our guy now.
Well, it depends how good Zappi
I don't know how you
looks,
couldn't
like.
commit to him at that point.
Well, I mean, Mac made the playoffs last year, so it's like I feel like Zappi would have to do more than what Mac did last year.
But I'm saying if you were to start
Zappi,
Zappi the rest of the year and you got a healthy Mac sitting there waiting, for 10, 11 games healthy,
and maybe just
I
the
think he's going to win
I
out.
think.
yeah.
I
that could
think
also
it
be
comes.
true.
I think it honestly, depending on how hot they stay, because I think if Zappi has a couple bad games in between, while they're winning on a good streak, I don't think they're going to win the rest of the regular season outright. However, there might be a game or two where Zappi's just really bad in the losses and they put Mac back in because it was just that bad. But if that doesn't happen, I truly think that would wait till the off season, have a quarterback battle between the two throughout training camp, very competitive quarterback battle. They would probably destroy everyone in the fucking preseason. But with that being said, I think after that, if Mac doesn't win the job in another quarterback battle, I think he is going to be on the block for a team needing a quarterback.
If I had to guess, it's going to play out exactly how it has with Cooper Rush. Or have a good 3-4 games, and then
I think
figure
he's
it
definitely
out.
better than
Exactly.
Cooper Rush. But I mean,
Yeah.
end of the day, they have a good problem on their hands. They have two
Yes.
good, decent quarterbacks.
serviceable
Young,
quarterbacks.
also young, also.
Yeah, also
So who
young on
knows?
rookie
Yeah.
deals.
We still may be 2 or 3 years before we should actually be having this discussion.
Yeah.
True.
Are
Yep.
these guys franchise guys?
Yeah, definitely. All right. Next game up, Jets at Packers. Jets win 27-10.
Jets.
Jets.
man.
Jets.
The Jets on
Packers,
fire.
Packers offense looks like shit, and it looks like the Jets have a playoff defense and a good run game.
Well,
So-
Quinn Williams is here.
He is
Like, remember coming out of
monster.
Bama, they were
Sauce.
like, this guy
Sauce
is like
is
the
a
next
ride.
like big thing. And he was kind of slow his first years, but now this guy's just tearing up offensive lines. Like, he's a monster. I mean, their D. Who else do they have on their D line?
They got that Jermaine Johnson. I don't know how he's doing.
Is he doing good?
That guy they drafted.
They have Carl Lawson as well, big
But-
free agent
yeah,
signing
yeah.
last
Sauce
offseason
is
from
a-
the
Sauce
Bengals.
is a god.
Good lord, is he a top 10 corner?
Yeah,
already?
He
I
might
would
already
say.
be.
I think he
Yeah.
already is. I'm kind
Yeah.
of pissed the Texans didn't take him now, honestly, because
Yeah.
he just looks so fucking good. He looks
Well, and
way ahead
and
of
he's
Stingley
giving
right
that
now.
Jets defense like an identity that they didn't
giving
have
him
before.
some
He's got that
sauce. Giving him
swag,
some swag.
some sauce. Yeah, he's walking around with the fucking cheese head
head.
after. Like, the New York hasn't had like that swag in forever.
Since
Now
Darrell
he
Reeves.
gives him that. Yeah, he gives him that chip and that swagger, which I think they've been lacking. And Saul is a defensive guy, so it's like a match made in heaven, honestly.
Yeah,
I think
don't-
the Jets are a really like scary young team because they're almost so young and dumb because sometimes it's better that you don't know, or it's better that you know what you don't know. So basically these guys are so young and just having fun being themselves, being competitors, trying to be the dogs out
Yeah,
there.
baby
That's a-
Jets.
That sometimes they don't even know what they're bad at. They just go out there and play and have fun, and you
Just
just
play
see
ball,
that through
man.
everyone. Yeah, and they just
Just
go out there,
dogs.
have fun. I mean, Sauce walking around there in Lambeau Stadium with the cheese head on. I watched a little bit of the Pat McAfee show with Rodgers on today, and even Rodgers was like, "Yeah, they've got one hell of a player over there."
Yeah,
And he even
no
said
doubt.
they're a tough defense to deal with. So I think a lot of teams are going to run into trouble with this defense, especially if you struggle. You're going to have to make this team pass the ball because if you don't, you're in for a long day because you play into their hands.
Well, then on the offensive side, they got weapons on the outside. I mean,
Mhm.
Breece Hall looks like the next
Stud.
best running back in the
Mhm.
league. And that guy's a monster. And then I
So
don't know
bad
about
I
their
traded
O-line,
him.
But I mean, Zach Wilson's doing what he has to do right now. They're running the ball. He's making necessary throws. And I know Zach, he didn't light up the stat sheet, but I mean,
He's in that Mac Jones.
it was in
territory.
Lambeau. It was a
running
rainy
game anyway.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a running game. He did what he had to do.
I mean-
so the Jets, they're trending up, which I don't remember the last time anyone has said that.
Well, I mean, 2 weeks ago, Zach Wilson led 2 massive drives to beat the Steelers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's definitely
Yeah,
proved,
we know the
yeah.
talent's there.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we said, they got talent all over the field offensively and defensively too. So
Yeah.
And a lot of the good quarterbacks in the league know that talent is there with them. I think the Jets are playing it right by just having him execute inside the game plan. Now, his QBR for the game, from what I'm looking at of the stats, says it's like a 30. But I mean, if you only throw the ball 18 times, I mean, you're not really going to do a whole lot
Only threw
anyway.
it
The
18
NFL
times.
Yeah.
literally threw it 18 times, completed 10 passes. So I
They were
mean,
sub 100 yards, weren't they, through the air?
yeah, I think it's like-
they're at
yeah.
110, almost sub, like
Jeez.
110, pretty much, basically. So, but yeah, it's just one of the games that he's just playing within the team's game plan, and it's working. So as long as he's doing that and they're winning games, I think that's good for the Jets. It's once they kind of get in situations where they're not having the lead, I think it's going to be interesting to see how Zach's going to do throughout a game, not just on like when it's a close game. I'm talking about coming back from deficits and things like that when they need to throw the ball.
Yeah.
I think their biggest thing is, will they utilize the weapons that they have to
Mhm.
its fullest advantage? Elijah
Yeah.
Moore, 0 targets last game.
He hasn't done anything
which
this year.
is
Apparently he's
concerning.
pissed off.
Came back
Yeah.
from an injury, but 0 targets in his second game back. Garrett Wilson popped off early with Joe Flacco. Haven't seen much of him in the past 2 games. If they're going to be a good contending playoff team, they have to utilize the weapons that
Yeah.
they have on the edge.
Yeah, if they want to make a legitimate run for sure.
Well, I mean, shit though. If you can run the ball, run the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Run the ball. Run the ball.
Yeah, but then on the Packers side of things, I don't know what's wrong with the Packers,
Does
honestly.
Aaron Rodgers like football anymore?
I don't know.
He doesn't really give a shit. Like, you saw Brady screaming at his offensive lineman in
Yeah.
that game. Like, Rodgers just like, I did ayahuasca.
I
I'm a
bet
more
he
mellow
needs
guy
to, he
now.
needs to get his
like,
wide
"I'm
receiver
calm-
room and
calm
go
now."
take ayahuasca with them. Get Dubs, get
That's a good
Watson,
idea.
get Randall Cobb, have a brother bonding moment, go take some ayahuasca and figure it out. Because
That's a
like,
bad idea.
and that's the thing with Rodgers is like, is he's proven year in year out. It's like if he doesn't trust you, if you're some young guy, he's not going to throw you the ball. And so, but I don't know how you can expect to win games when you're giving Robert Tonyan 12 targets, Randall Cobb 7 or 8 targets, and then
Howard
chucking few up to
Lazard.
Lazard. Yeah, and their O line's not playing well now either. And their defense is good, but it gets to a point.
They
any
can't stop the
defense
run.
To where have they been really bad against the run?
Yeah, I mean, the Giants ran the ball up and down the field.
But also,
Oh
too,
yeah,
their-
dude.
their
they've
special
been bad
teams was-
against everyone.
Their
They've been
special
bad
they
against
gave
everyone
up
against the
a
run.
blocked punt and a blocked field goal. They had a few turnovers. This was just a sloppy game all around for them, like any way you look at it. But I'm very worried about the Packers. Bottom line,
Absolutely. And how much
I
do you
am-
think?
yeah,
how much do you think
I'm
Rodgers
super
is
worried.
regretting signing that massive extension that pretty much drove Devontae out of town because they couldn't pay him?
I mean, he can retire whenever he wants, so I don't think he really. I think that deal is just to make sure he's got security while he's there in case it goes the right way he wants it to. But I mean, if it really goes down the shitter, and I don't think he's done after this year. But if it gets one more season of this shit, he's gonna say, "Fuck it, I'm done. I'm out of here. See y'all
I
later.
know.
Thanks, Green Bay."
But if I were him, I would have taken a little bit of less money instead of being one of the highest paid guys in the NFL, so you can keep Devontae and do it like
that's
Brady.
just not who he's not Brady.
That's just
No,
not
he's
who
not
he
Brady.
is.
No,
Yeah,
he's not.
that's just not who he
But-
is. That's just not who he is.
Would have been
Yeah.
the smarter decision,
Yeah,
but no,
not good. Not good.
not good on the Packers front.
Not good.
All right, next up, Ravens at Giants. Giants win
The
24-20.
5-1.
Giants,
What the
baby.
fuck?
I cannot
NFC
believe that. I
beast.
cannot believe that. That's still like when we were watching the like there, I probably said like 20 times. I was like, the Giants are 5-1. It's like I don't know. What do you think about this, Giant boy?
I think we could very easily also be 1-5.
Y'all
Like
could.
all of our
Y'all
games
could.
have been close, one possession games, but we're staying in the game just enough to where if something goes our way, we can beat them. And Daniel Jones has actually led a couple of nice long touchdown drives this season, and
He's not
I mean,
making mistakes for once. Actually,
he's
like,
actually
he's not
not
that
making
bad.
mistakes.
He's
yeah.
gonna get that extension.
yeah,
He's gonna- y'all
what
gonna be
people are
stuck
asking
with
now
him.
is Daniel Jones the quarterback of the future.
Yep. Oh, I saw this coming from a mile away.
I like now. The problem is like now I've had to like actually think about it. I'm like, if we sign him to something like 25 mil per year and not something crazy, like I guess I'd have to be okay with that. And if he looks like this the rest of the year and we keep winning games, like then that is what it is. Like, but if he's asking for like 40 mil per year, I don't think we'd actually even sign him to that.
I don't think any. I mean,
I don't think he's asking.
I would hope he's not asking for that.
hypothetically though, let's say that the Giants get in the playoffs.
They should get in the playoffs now.
You should. Okay, let's say best case. Y'all get in the playoffs. Y'all win a wild card round, lose divisional round. Jones puts up like 28 touchdowns, 7 or 8 picks, rushes for 500. Is there a team that would throw him 35 mil in free agency? The Bears, maybe.
I mean, I don't.
I
see
really would hope not if you're that team.
And-
I don't
but there
see a
are
team
teams that get
that desperate.
delusional
Like,
No.
I don't think there's a team
No.
that desperate for.
just because of what we've seen his whole career up until
Exactly.
this year.
Well, we've seen
The
like, I mean,
Commanders love to do that. The Commanders love to
That
do
would be a
that.
commander move.
Yeah,
But I
they
mean-
do love to do that. Yeah.
I mean, I will give Daniel Jones props. So I mean, we've had our top 4 receivers out the last 2 weeks, and he's making shit happen, man. Like, I mean, he's
Saquon's
doing-
about to get paid.
the
Oh,
Colts. The
Saquon's
Colts
gonna
would
be-
love Danny Dimes. That is
Nah,
right up their alley.
He
would.
That
He
is
would.
right up their alley. That is right up.
No,
their
they're
alley.
gonna
He's not old enough. He's got to be like
No.
36.
You're right.
Immobilized.
And he's not. And he's
I'm
not washed. He's not washed. Yeah. Danny
I'm looking at
Dimes
Ryan
would've been
Tannehill after
upgraded.
the season.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't want.
I like
Ryan
Tannehill.
Yeah,
Tannehill's
Tannehill.
he's a Colt.
Or Joe Flacco.
Book it. No, Flacco. No, they need a guy that they can maybe buy into, and Tannehill's perfect. I
Tannehill
like
fits the
that.
bill.
Tannehill's
does.
totally the next
100%.
Colt. 100%. Yeah.
Sadly.
Well,
They y'all would buy into that.
well, now going into the Ravens, this is their third fourth quarter blown lead of the season. Lamar's fucking shit up, and he just does not look like a clutch quarterback right now. I mean, that pick he threw on that bad snap was just throw that ball away, dude. Like, don't try and
throw it
throw that
away.
ball up.
Just throw it away.
Like, he's just, I mean, I've been
And he
saying
should know,
it.
but
He ain't
he
seeing a
knows
Super Bowl.
better than-
He ain't seeing one.
Yeah, he
I
knows
still
better
think
than that.
That's a bunch of bull. But yeah, I mean, I think the Ravens are going to be fine. They could easily be 6-0 right now, and they're 3-3, unfortunately for them.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, this is their third. This is the third time they've had a double-digit lead in the second half, and they've blown it. Like this is like starting to be like actually worrisome. There's supposed to be a team that can run the ball whenever they want and hold on to a double-digit lead,
And they
can't do
really
that
doing
apparently.
that. Yeah.
So
Like
that
Kenyon
definitely
Drake.
worries me.
Kenyon Drake had some big runs yesterday, so I think it looked a little better in terms of like the running game, but in terms of like the pass protection and stuff, I know Lamar can run around and do things like that outside the pocket, and that what makes him so great is because he makes it 11 on 11 every single time you're out there with him. But at the same time, he's sorry. At the same time, he's like trying to force things right now, and I think a lot of that honestly is really just because of that contract, because he's really trying to like run it up the Ravens and show them that y'all need to pay me, and if you don't, I'm going to make you pay for it. Sorry.
get it out.
I mean, I think he knows he's so good at the game of football that he's trying to do so much, win the game by himself, try and make every single play on the field, which ultimately as a quarterback you can't do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to live to see another play, and ultimately that shooting the entire Ravens team in the foot in the fourth quarters the past couple weeks.
He's got a little Carson Wentz in him, trying to get like 15-point touchdowns.
Don't compare him to Wentz.
I'm not comparing to Wentz.
The thing is, too, it's like the Lamar when he won MVP, their one seeds, like the roster's stacked. The roster this year really, frankly, isn't that good. I mean, their weapons outside of Andrew, meh. Running back group, meh.
Deshaun Jackson's back.
Yeah. Great. Secondary's good. Secondary's good if it's healthy, but then the front seven's terrible. So, I mean, he's also not working with that much, and he is being asked to do a lot. But then again, if you are going to pay a guy $40 million, that's the guy that you say, hey, elevate the team, make it happen.
You need to, you need to be able to do a whole lot.
That, yeah.
Well, he's trying to be the highest paid.
But my thing is, like, I disagree that he will never see a Super Bowl. I think he will see a Super Bowl. But I don't think that he's a Josh Allen or a Patty Mahomes to where we can have deficiencies around the rest of the roster and be like, okay, Lamar's going to elevate us and take us to that next level. We're going to be fine. He doesn't have the arm for it. Like you've said this, he has the legs. They're there for sure. But in the modern day NFL, on that, like again, that last drive, if it's a 3rd down 10, 4th down 10, you can't run it. Eventually, you got to air it out. You got to hit your throws, and he's shown he can't do that. So
I mean, he's got a big arm. It's the intermediate throws is what you have to hit. Is that?
And he's never been great at that.
No, there's definitely been games where he can do that, but on a consistent level, and especially in clutch time, it's not really been there consistently. But,
And I mean, on the stat sheet, they're rushing for 211 yards.
Oh yeah.
There's no reason why you should be out of games, losing games in the fourth quarter when you're running for over 200 yards on the ground.
And they outgained us by 200 yards. Yeah. Like it was.
No, they outgained y'all. Actually,
we just got lucky with some good red zone.
406 to 238.
That's absurd.
Oh my goodness, almost doubled.
Yeah, no reason they shouldn't have won that game. And the other big question, I mean, we see what Sirianni's doing with the Eagles, but we see what Dable's doing with the Giants with this absolute shit pile of a roster. Is Dable Coach of the Year?
Coach of the
year. Right
now,
he's
right
easily
now.
Vegas favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, Sirianni's the only guy that could be in that argument, but I mean, you look at the roster the Eagles have, and it's loaded. It's up here, and the Giants are down here.
3-4 wins this entire year.
Yeah, and already 5-1. Like, bearing a catastrophic collapse, like, y'all are getting in the playoffs. Like, y'all, that feel good?
It's gonna be fun.
That's insane. That's wild. That is
y'all are
wild.
y'all are like the Eagles from last year. Y'all are gonna sneak in and just get waxed.
Well, at this point, it might not sneak in. Like you could definitely. I mean, we could go 5 and 6.
We are winning the division.
No, we're not. But I mean, if we went 5 and 6, we'd still win. We'd still be 10 and 7.
I think the only problem with that is NFC East. Does 3 teams get in? Do 3 teams get in?
I think so.
At this point in time, if you were if I was to bet on it. I would bet. Yeah, I would have to bet yes.
With the schedules that we play,
and the NFC, the schedule is so easy.
Yeah, and all those NFC teams, because there's so many mediocre NFC teams, they always just beat up on each other. So it's just kind of one of those things where a lot of these 5 and 6 teams are going to come in and play each other, and one's going to come out, and then you got a 5 and 7 and a 6 and 6, that sort of thing, and they're going to have to be the ones to get above that. And right now they have this sort of lead where they just need to be able to hold on to it. That's really it.
Yeah, I mean, but we got to remember this is a long season. I mean, last year through 6 weeks, the Cardinals looked like world beaters last year through 6 weeks.
They did.
Look where they are now. They look like dick.
So what do you think the Giants end up at? 5-1 right now.
I think 10 and 7 sounds right. 10-7. I mean, I don't 11-6. I feel like would still be asking a lot, just because
Yeah.
I feel like I mean, like we still play. We play what Jags, Bears, or no, sorry, Jags, Texans, Lions, Seahawks over our next 4, and it's like I could very well see us going 2-2 in those games. Like I don't think we're gonna go 3-1 or 4-0 by any means.
It's just gonna be a toss-up every single game with the Giants.
I mean, they're keeping it close. They haven't really blown anybody out. I mean, they still barely beat the Bears. I mean, they only won that game 20-12. So, I mean, we'll just kind of see what happens.
But they are executing when it does matter most. So that's what I will give them. They're making plays on the defensive end and on the offensive end after the defense makes a big-time crucial play. So, got to give it to them. They're stepping up and making the plays when you have to. You just kind of wonder if that's going to be able to keep up the whole season.
Yeah, no, it's weird seeing, like, competent coaching. Like, it's honestly incredible. Okay, all right, next game, Bucs at Steelers. Steelers take this one 20-18. Are the Bucs done?
I don't know. This was a weird one. I went back and I watched all of the Bucs offensive plays, and I mean, okay, first of all, they can't run the ball. Their interior line sucks. It's just not good. Brady missed some throws. He probably had 5 or 6 throws. He just flat out missed. But
5 yards short.
Yeah, and he also was trying to force throws too. Like there was one play specifically. It was 3rd and 10, and the third quarter they were driving because they pushed the ball down the field. They got in the red zone like 4 times and got 4 field goals, and he just was trying to force it. His arm looks fine. I'm not concerned about his arm, but it's just that the fact that they can't run the ball. And he's trying to force it. I think that if I had to bet, I think they will figure it out just because it is Tom Brady.
Exactly.
If there's anyone to bet on in the NFL, you're going to bet on Tom fucking Brady. And so I think they'll figure it out. And also, too, they didn't take any big shots. And, like, this Bucs offense with Brady has been – they make their living on the big plays to Mike Evans, the big plays to Chris Godwin. You know, whenever Scotty Miller gets there, get him a 60-yard, throw or whatever. And that's how they live. And they didn't even attempt the big shots. And for granted – the Steelers' defense played great. They got after him all day. Their secondary guys were contesting
all over him.
Every pass was getting contested. It seemed like.
Was he not getting enough protection to take those deep shots?
Yes and no. He had. I don't know if it was the play calling or what, but there were multiple times where he had the protection, but they just. I think I'm more worried about their run blocking. Their pass blocking looks more okay, but their run blocking is terrible. I mean, I don't know what Leonard Fournette's averaging on the ground, but it's. Probably
it's not good.
3 yards a carry.
Yeah, it's probably like around 3 yards a carry.
Yeah, it's something bad. But
he's getting like 20 carries and getting like 60 yards right now.
I mean, they're trying to feed him. It's just
they're
not
trying.
working on the ground.
It's just no.
But I would bet they do figure it out. I don't think this is the Bucs team that we saw a few years ago in the Super Bowl, but I think this team still gets in the playoffs. And if you get Brady in the playoffs,
who knows?
Anything can happen.
I mean, I think it helps out that they're in the NFC. The NFC is
the NFC is just so mid.
It's not that good. I mean, if we have 3 NFC East teams in the playoffs,
yeah, that shows you right there.
I'm an AFC guy, but what does that tell us about the NFC?
When was the last time the NFC was this bad?
I mean, there's basically the Eagles and like everybody else is what it looks like. Like,
I mean,
pretty much.
Let's not sleep on the Niners though.
Yes, they're good, but
I sleep.
They're just not. They're
missing 11 starters this past week.
I mean, like I hate
11.
Like the thing I hate about the Niners is like they can lose to the Falcons, and I still like. Well, if they to the playoffs, like they have a formula.
Playoff time, they have an identity. They know what they need to do. That I'm still very high on the Niners.
They have a formula, yes, but no, like it's weird. It's basically like what? So basically, Eagles are kind of the tier of their own, and then it's like what? Niners, Rams, Bucks. You'd probably put them all together, and then
I disagree.
Honestly, not with the Rams. Honestly,
I think Rams and Bucks are in that 3rd tier now.
I think Cowboys are in the 2nd tier.
I forgot about the Cowboys. Yeah, the Cowboys are in the 2nd tier right now. I hate to say it, but I mean, if the Cowboys get hot, I would say this would be the year they could get the
Cowboys
Super Bowl.
and Niners are in that 2nd tier.
Absurd right now.
Yeah, Micah Parsons is the next LT.
He's insane.
I truly think you could have scraps around your entire defense, and if you do have Micah Parsons, your defense will be a top 17, 18
has to be
defense in the league, solely off his impact.
He gets so many pressures.
Oh, my God, yeah, it's insane. I mean,
he's a monster.
He even had one play against the Eagles where he was covering Goddard. He was on the line, dropped back, and almost swatted it away. And Goddard's a very good tight end.
We'll get to the Cowboys later. Let's stay on task here, all right? But yeah, Bucs, Steelers. Do you have anything else to add on this? I mean, good win for the Steelers, good for them. But this is definitely more about the Bucs than the Steelers.
Najee Harris sucks.
Well, we know that.
Yeah.
But okay, next up, Jags at Colts. Colts win 34-27. Matt Ryan throws the ball 58 times and sets
He's
a
back.
Colts record.
Franchise record.
He's
Franchise
back.
record 42 completions, more than Peyton
Can his
Manning in a
arm
game.
handle that?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Oh,
wondering.
that thing is
Can
on
that arm
ice all
sustain
fucking
it?
week.
Yeah,
that ice
come
is jelly right
That old
fucking now.
arm is that
Yeah.
old arm is falling apart right now.
That arm's gonna need a fucking Viagra at this point. That's for fucking sure.
No, they need Jonathan Taylor back so they can truly do what they want to do, which is run the ball. But
I don't think that they're going to run the ball the entire season.
you think
Ooh.
Matt
That's
Ryan's arm can handle this and
That's
win
my
games?
bold statement. Our run blocking, abysmal.
Is
We
pass
have-
blocking better than your run blocking?
No, but it was this week, and
Okay.
it obviously showed. I mean, Matt Ryan throws for over 300 yards. Pittman goes for 130 by himself on
13 catches.
And I
13
think
catches, 16
I just think
targets.
it's so weird because I don't know. This is supposed to be one of the best lines in the league. I don't really know what's going on with it right now to where it's not one of the best lines in the league with who they do have. It looks kind of weird. I mean, you got Braden Smith, who's probably above average tackle, but he's definitely not playing like it this year. You got Quentin Nelson, he's still Quinn fucking Nelson, and you got Ryan Kelly inside. But really, it's really just those two, and then outside of that, I don't think anyone else is really stepping up on that line. And that rookie they drafted, can't really pronounce his name, Rahman or whatever, who just got torched in their primetime game, just with all the false starts, holdings, everything like that. He's going to take a while to develop, and I don't really know if I would feel super comfortable getting him out there. But that is what you're going to have to do if you want to develop him. So it's I don't know what's going on with it at all.
Yeah, I think the problem with the Colts is on their offensive line, they're the best at the least important positions. Left tackle is one of the most important positions on the football field, whether that's offense or defense. If you can't protect blindside, you're not going to win football games.
Mm-hmm.
We have maybe the worst left tackle in the league, whether that's Ryman, whether that's Matt Pryor. Now, Dennis Kelly did start at left tackle this weekend, veteran from the Titans. He played really well on the Colts.
He's a pretty
depth chart.
versatile offensive lineman guy. He's always like a good fill-in player.
How do you
He's-
feel about putting Quentin Nelson at left tackle? Could they do that?
I think he could do a damn good job on the left side out on the edge. I don't think they're ever going to consider that, but I think that could be a
That'd
possibility.
be
But I don't think
interesting.
that is. There's plenty enough left tackles to either come through a draft or in free agency to fill that gap to an adequate standard to let Big Q do what he does. But
I would think even just the fact that you have him and Kelly in the middle, like, can you not run through them? Have they been trying that?
Kelly has been a shell of himself this entire year. I mean,
Was he hurt last year?
He was hurt last year. He missed a couple games due to family issues, but he also missed 2 games this year, I believe. And then Danny Pinter actually filled in for center, second year guy, 6th rounder out of Ball State. He played better than Ryan Kelly at the center position when he was allowed. So I don't think Ryan Kelly or Braden Smith are playing to their expected level, which ultimately makes the entire offensive line drop in production.
Yeah.
It just makes it tough to have I think, like a really truly successful season if what's supposed to be your biggest strength becomes a problem. That kind of shifts the whole sequence of like what trajectory your season's going to go, I think. But they are talented guys, so that hopefully they pick it up. But I don't know. Luckily, they're in the AFC South. So
And Matt Ryan looks like he should be in a fucking home, man. That guy cannot move.
No.
We were watching that Bronco game, the Colt Bronco primetime game. I felt bad for him. Honestly, I felt terrible. He tried to move around. He can't move, and the O-line can't hold up. It's just that is not a good recipe right there. At least when you had Wentz could kind of move around a little bit, but Matt Ryan, it's like if he doesn't have protection, good fucking luck.
No, Matt's at that point in his career where he's just like, where Eli Manning was. He's just falling down, taking sacks if he knows it's about to happen. Like, but I mean, you could tell that. I mean, they know they have a bad offensive line they're almost using the pass game as an extension of the run game by all these quick throws that they used the other day. I mean, what did Deion Jackson have? 10 catches?
It worked though.
10 catches.
But it works. It
32
works.
points.
If it works,
Now,
it works.
do you think that they maintain this type of quick offense? Because that's all they had. They did the no huddle like on 53%
The
of
no huddle
snaps or
helped
something.
out tremendously. It basically was their run game. I mean, back in 2020 when Phil Rivers was the quarterback, they ran
Same kind of
quick
thing
hitters. They ran speed up offense every single drive, and we went 11-5. I think that that's kind of what they have to do to Matt Ryan. Obviously, he's good enough to decipher defenses on the fly. He's good enough to change personnel on the field wherever he needs to.
Got to use his strengths.
I think that we can't sit back, let him throw it 35 yards down the field, whether that's slants, crossers with Pittman, and then the occasional deep ball to Alec Pierce. I think we got to get going, get the offense, get the defense tired, and that's the best way to win football games.
Yeah. And on the Jags side, another close game that they probably should have won that game from. I mean, they were up in that game, and that long touchdown to Alec Pierce, that put it away. But Jags,
I think with the Jags, it's just kind of a reality check to where, they started off hot, but like the reality is like this Jags team is still, a year or two away from actually really competing for anything.
Yeah.
And they have good young players, but overall, I mean, the personnel still isn't that good. It's going to take time.
They got to get some help on corners. The Colts receivers are nothing to write home about other than Pittman, and they looked like the best receivers in the NFL today. But they need to get some help on the outside.
And what's weird is that that pass rush they have, it's supposed to be like a really good young core, but they had 0 sacks on Matt Ryan last week. So it's just kind of weird. They're kind of I think teams are starting to figure out a little bit how to guard Trayvon Walker a little more, how to guard Josh Allen a little better. Yeah, so I think teams are figuring them out a little bit. They're still young guys, so Trayvon's going to have to learn as he goes. Josh Allen's got to do a little better still. But yeah, I mean, no sacks that game for Matt Ryan, which is kind of weird. So who knows if that continues?
Yeah, you should get Matt Ryan on the ground at least once.
Yeah, exactly.
At the very least. All right, next up, Cardinals at Seahawks. Seahawks win 19-9. How much longer does Cliff have?
Well, he just signed that deal, so I don't know.
I don't think. The fact that the guy Steve Wilkes before Cliff, the fact that he coached 1 year and they're like, all right, just get out.
Oh, it is a new owner.
Is it a new owner?
Is it a new owner or is it not? I thought you were.
I don't think it's a new owner. I think it was
never mind.
The same owner.
Yeah, but if it's just that same guy, it's like if he's gonna do that to Steve Wilkes after 1 year with fucking Josh Rosen at quarterback, then I would think that the owner with Cliff, like, all right, we believe this is our guy. We just gave him a 5-year supermax, and if you're losing 19, if you're scoring 9 points on a crummy ass Seattle defense, and you're supposed to be our offensive guru, like I think he's. If the Cardinals drop like the next 3 out of 4, I think he's gone.
He's been an offensive poo-poo this season, not an offensive guru.
I think he's a coordinator. I don't think he's a head coach type of guy.
I mean, even at Texas Tech, he wasn't.
I don't even know how the fuck he got a job in the NFL, honestly.
Like my thing is who's the leader on that team? It's not Kyler.
No.
JJ Watt.
Don't
even fucking. It's fucking JJ.
It's got to be.
It's definitely JJ. But I feel like on any NFL team, if you want to be successful at the highest level, you have to have A, your quarterback, or B, your head coach, rallying the troops, like getting everybody together, motivating. And they don't have either of them.
Either that or a wide receiver, and you got D-Hop being suspended. Finally, he's back now, which will hopefully be a huge difference.
But now they lost Hollywood.
But then
Hollywood's
they just
looked
for
great.
Robbie
He's
Anderson.
been awesome.
Look fucking good as shit.
Robbie.
I mean, is Robbie Anderson better than Hollywood Brown? I think so.
Yeah, I think he is.
I'm not gonna go that far.
I think that's.
You think Robbie's better than Hollywood?
Oh no, I thought we just said the opposite.
I think Robbie Anderson's better than Hollywood.
Oh, I do not.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go that far.
I think Hollywood's underrated, bro. If you get him the ball in space, he is electric.
He's good, man.
A good player this year, like showed that he can be.
And I've always viewed Robbie as just more of a burner. I know he's more than a burner, but I think overall, like that's his thing. But I think Hollywood's a great player.
Yeah, he's got that chemistry with Tyler too. Got the chemistry from college also. So I mean, that's been there still. So that always helps. So.
But also, Kyler just like it's not all on Cliff. A lot of it's on Kyler too.
It is.
We know the talent's there with Kyler. But you go in and you watch, he just makes simple mistakes. Like, check it down to your running back. Take off with your legs. And they did incorporate his legs a little bit more in this past week. And that's something they're going to have to continue to do if they want to maximize Kyler Murray. Because he is one of the – behind Lamar, he's the quickest and fastest QB in this league. And I know he's a little bitch and he doesn't want to, take these hits, which he doesn't. He's great at sliding as a baseball player. He gets out of the pressure. But you got to use his legs if you want this offense to be firing. You have to.
I mean, I think it's
got to
open
it up.
Instance in the Bears where they're trying to have Justin Fields be the epitome of a pocket passer, which ultimately he's not. Kyler Murray's not.
No.
I need to get him out on the edge, let him do his thing, and make some throws.
They got to make it. They got to make it 11 on 11 every single time, basically.
Exactly. you don't have Kyler Murray to have him be a pocket passer. That's not what he is. You draft him as a dynamic dual threat quarterback. Let him be that. And honestly, I think it's more of him just being scared and not wanting to use his legs. Because, I mean, that guy, like, he does not take any hits, which is it can be a good thing, for his injury long term. But there's so many times if you watch a Cardinal game to where he could easily creep up in the pocket and get 6-7 yards, and he just kind of waits and throws it, and nothing good happens.
I mean, to be fair, at his size, you don't want him getting hit.
Yeah, he's not Josh Allen.
But that's my point,
He's
though.
not Lamar.
Josh Allen, we can get to him, but that guy takes way too many fucking hits.
Yes.
He's going to get hurt. But Kyler is better than anyone at getting down and sliding. He's got that to a T. Pristine. Yes, exactly. So
Clean slide. But, I mean, do you think that do the Cardinals regret paying Kyler and making him was he the second?
I think they should
money?
regret. I think they should regret giving Cliff that extension, especially how the season ended. I think that was a really bad idea because now what's going to have to happen now with Kyler is he's going to have this season that will wane on his confidence. Maybe he'll be kind of have a fire in his ass and want to have like a bounce back year because things aren't looking good this season for him. But then at the same time, once that new coach comes in, that's probably going to take some time to get used to unless they get a great hire, which who knows how that's going to go if the people in the first fucking place decide to hire Cliff fucking Kingsbury. So I don't really know about that.
He's going back to college.
Yeah, he had one winning season at Texas Tech, and then he became an NFL coach. Like, it really makes no fucking sense. Yeah, and he had fucking Mahomes. So I think that was the biggest mistake. I just think he's just in his head that his system's going to work, and he's not really trying to utilize the players that he has and putting them in the right places to make those plays. But I think D-Hop's going to open that up for some guys too.
D-Hop will. But I think losing Hollywood does really hurt.
It does, yeah.
But I'm not a big fan of the air raid offense either in the NFL. If I'm the Cardinals GM, I want to build up because it's kind of like the Ravens. I like Lamar a lot more than Kyler, but the Cardinals overall personnel isn't that good either.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm the GM for them, I almost want to take a page out of Philly's book and I want to build up my O-line and incorporate Kyler in an RPO offense.
That's what they should do.
I feel like Kyler in an RPO offense could be deadly. And I know
Dangerous.
he's gonna have to take a few more hits, but again, he's 5'9", so you got to get him moving with his legs a little bit.
And the thing with
right
him
now, they'd have no design runs for him whatsoever.
You mentioned that he's really good at getting down and sliding. Even if he's going to take these hits, I don't really see him just getting absolutely laid the fuck out.
I don't either.
He just needs to dive forward, kind of make a little more effort, going towards the sideline.
Don't get hit standing up straight.
Just don't try and run over a motherfucker. You're not going to run over anyone in the NFL.
He ain't gonna do that.
Exactly. So as long as he's diving before, not just kind of running around just so he can take a slide while he could try and go forward and maybe just dive ahead for a few extra yards. I mean, there's been some games where those few extra yards would have probably helped them out a little bit. So who knows?
Yeah. In his whole Cardinal career too, we really haven't seen the run game really click his whole career with them. It's been all right.
Last season was decent.
Last
season was pretty decent. Yeah,
it was decent. But I would like to see him with a good O-line and a good running game. I would really love to see that because I don't think he's had really a fair shot personnel-wise when you compare him to some of these other QBs from what they've had. Which sucks too because when they had him on that rookie deal, unfortunately the roster sucked before. Where when the Ravens have Lamar with the Eagles with Jalen Hurts, they were able to afford to build up the roster around these guys. With Kyler, they really haven't been able to do that at all yet. Even when now he's on that deal, so now it's looking more bleak even.
Yeah, and then a new coaching change is going to have to change that whole thing up and have to put the roster they have with the players they get into that scheme and see how that's going to work. So I don't know. I just think the Cliff idea was a real big fuck up in my opinion.
Yeah, not good.
I mean, you just look at that resume in college, and I don't see how you think
exactly what the fuck.
A great hire for the NFL. He could put up some points.
Oh, he recruited Kyler Murray and was his OC at A&M. Who gives a fuck? This is the NFL. All right, this isn't the fucking college football.
Big boys, all right.
Yeah, this ain't no fucking junior league over here, bud. So he's figuring that out.
The other thing that worries me with Kyler is just he doesn't seem like a light a fire under his ass, rah kind of guy. To he's gonna want to play hard.
And that's my thing too. I feel like you need a coach. Who would be a good guy? You need
Joe Judge.
You know who you need? You need a fucking what the fuck?
You need to bring Chip Kelly back.
You need to Ed Orgeron with Kyler Murray.
Sean Payton would be great for Kyler.
You need a bulldog that's gonna fire up the boys with Kyler Murray, and I feel like Cliff is just not there for that.
If Sean Payton came out of retirement, he'd be probably perfect for Kyler, I think, because he would make that roster work. Yeah, because he's a great coach.
I really
Really, he
hope.
might go to the Chargers if that opens up.
Which I bet they fire Staley too after this year. I could just already see that trending that way. I really hope the Cardinals just go ahead and.
All right,
hire
we'll
Chip
get to the
Kelly
Chargers. We'll get to the Chargers.
That would be great.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be great.
Dude, I want to get to the Chargers game. Staley fucking makes me go crazy sometimes watching him coach, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
I think this game is really. What are the Seahawks?
That's what. Yeah, the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Is the Geno Smith-led Seahawks team going to make the playoffs?
What did Geno Smith
They
do over
are
the summer?
competitive, dude.
Kenneth Walker looks
they're
damn
damn-
good.
Kenneth Walker's a beast.
He looked
and I'm not
damn
just saying that
good.
he's in my fantasy team. I
Same.
kind of am, but he's a beast.
I have Damian
Good for Pete
Pierce,
Carroll.
and it's one of those things. Like they're looking like those young running backs this season are looking like fucking monsters.
I mean, I think this year's kind of like. Obviously, the running back is very low on the draft tier list, even the cream of the crop. But like Brees Hall, Kenneth Walker,
It's all the rookies.
every single game that they've played in,
Baller.
they're making a big difference.
Oh,
Yeah,
Ramondre
Damian
Stevenson.
Pierce.
Pierce.
He set the Pro Football Focus record for broken tackles in a game. 17 broken tackles. 17.
That guy plays angry, bro.
Like, that's
Does
insane.
Change kind of the draft.
That dude
outlook
eats
on
nails.
Bijan Robinson this year, on whoever else that might be.
Oh,
I
he's
think
a
with-
first-round pick.
I feel like that's
think
just how it is with the NFL
Yeah.
RB position now. Is like your best peak performance is your rookie or second year.
Yeah.
Because the wear and tear is just so fucking bad.
And you're young, fresh. You haven't taken as many hits as other guys. You aren't hitting as many people as other guys have been. Haven't been hitting as much bigger guys, so you're just fresher. Your body's not as like beat up on that.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Kenneth Walker's looking like a really good player. I feel bad for Rashad Penny. He was looking all right to start the year. Feel bad for
He
him.
was looking good too.
Yeah, I feel bad for him getting hurt once again. But I just like what Geno's doing. He's just kind of spreading the ball around, and he's just not turning the football over. Just not turning it over. And as long as you can do that, and in the NFL you win the turnover battle, you're going to win football games. And that's probably what's been helping him out, is that they're winning the turnover battle as well.
It took him 10 years to figure it out.
Yeah, like their defense
You get
might.
Tavon Austin on this team, they might be pushing for the Super Bowl.
Oh shit, yeah, that's a hell of a player right there.
Well, they got that corner.
Get
fucking with
D'Anthony
Tariq
Thomas
Woolen.
out there.
Tariq Woolen's a
Woolen is
dog,
a
dude. He's a
monster.
dog.
Doesn't he have a pick in like each of the last
He has
3
4
games?
picks.
Yes.
Yeah, he's had 4 picks.
No, have you seen the his comparison to Richard Sherman?
It's like identical.
I haven't.
I'm sure.
They were both drafted like I think Richard was like 173. He was drafted 172.
Yeah, like what? Yeah,
Same exact like height, weight, like physical intangibles, and
same
then
round, same
there was
round.
some- same like identical players.
I mean, that dude was a
Used to
stud
be
in
wide
college.
receivers, got moved
What
to
college
corner.
did he go
He's a
to?
UTSA, man.
He was?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
part of the
For-
Jeff Traylor takeover. He moved into corner over his like sophomore year.
What was he, a 4.27 guy?
Yeah, like he's
Was
6'4".
wasn't that his-
4.27?
that was his
He's a
40
6'4" corner with
6'3",
blazing
6'4".
speed.
God.
He'll just any mistake he can go make up for it. In a position where it's fast switch like that, that speed and acceleration is just
How did he
unfucking
fall
real
to
with that
Just because
length.
he went to UTSA, you think?
Yeah, he
Absolutely.
just
It
yeah,
was-
yeah.
It was
Definitely why
he
he fell in the
played.
fourth round.
That's exactly why. Literally exactly why. No one knew about him basically.
The nail on the head there. Huh?
Yeah, I'd say. But
They're
I
an
mean,
interesting
hell,
team, man.
In the NFC, they definitely are making a run at the playoffs.
They are.
For sure.
They are. They're not an easy game, that's for sure. That's what they've shown
They're
everyone.
a fun team to watch.
Yeah, they actually are kind
They
of
got
fun
they
to
got
watch.
players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I thought the exact opposite.
Oh,
going into
oh,
the
I
season.
thought
I
they were
thought
gonna be
they were
terrible.
going to be fucking awful.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought they were going to be the
Yeah.
worst team in the league, actually, but I was wrong.
That's why I didn't have DK or Tyler Lockett on my fantasy
Yeah.
teams.
Yeah.
I was
And
like,
they've
writing
been
them off.
better this year than Tyler Lockett is what I think like 7th or 8th in fantasy right now.
He's a stud.
PPR.
He's always sneaky.
He every year, bro.
Just
every year
sneak-
people
everyone
shit-
doubts him. Yeah,
including
I know.
myself. I'm like,
I
I
did
don't
it
want
again.
Tyler fucking
Same.
Lockett. Yeah, have him for $4, and then he's a top 15 receiver every year.
Every year.
It's ridiculous.
Every year.
He might be the most underappreciated receiver in football.
Oh yeah.
And he,
I
think
gave
he has
him-
been for
I
some
remember we
time
all
now.
gave him shit for his Madden rating, too, and it's like, God, fuck.
Yeah,
You get it?
yeah, we all did because he's like an 89 or
He
90.
doesn't drop anything.
Yeah,
No.
he's like
Over
a
the
90
shoulder, he's
overall
catching
Madden. We
every
were like,
single
oh, what
thing.
He doesn't make
fuck?
mistakes. Yeah, he does everything right.
Good ball player.
K-State legend.
Yeah, he is a
K-State
K-State
legend.
legend. Him and Jordy Nelson.
Calvin Klein.
Colin Klein.
Colin
Not
Klein.
Calvin
Colin,
Klein.
my
Calvin
bad.
Klein's a clothing
My
brand,
bad,
bro.
Colin. Hey, great. No, I can't even say it's a great clothing brand. All right. Next up, Cowboys at Eagles. Eagles win 26-17.
Valiant effort.
We lost, but I'm still clapping.
Valiant
Clapping
effort
for a
by the
loss?
boys.
I'm clapping for a loss because, okay, the fact that we only lost by 9 points.
It could have been so much.
Eagles
fucking
team that
worse.
everyone's like, oh my God, they're so good. Like, oh, just jerking off Jalen Hurts. Like, okay, when you go back and look at the game, first drive of the game, Eagles have 4th and 4 on their like 10 or 11 yard line. And fucking Dante Fowler jumps on a 4th and 4. They get the first down. And it's one of those plays where there was like 18 seconds. Then the clock went. Everybody knew they were going to do it. So that turns a 3-point field goal into a 7-point touchdown. So there's 4 points right there. Throwing the fact, Cooper Rush had 3 abysmal picks.
Mm-hmm.
Also, second quarter, we're on our own 35. CeeDee Lamb gets the first down, stretches out for it.
Didn't give it
Cowboys,
to you.
Mike McCarthy, just a
Yeah, that was
boneheaded
a
move.
bad
That was bad. And that's all coaching, yeah. He says, hurry up to Cooper Rush. They hurry up, run a play action, a bootleg play action. Don't even get close to getting it. It's like if you huddle that up and you call the challenge, you are 100%. It said right after, you're 100% getting that play right there. Yeah. And then you get that. Who knows? You may get 3 and out, but you punt it, which they got a field goal from that as well. You may get a field goal on your end, you may get a touchdown. And that's all there is to the world right now. But my biggest thing is if Dak Prescott's playing that game and we limit, the boneheaded coaching things, which I can't say they will with Mike McCarthy. But the team looks great. I mean, they're playing with the underdog mentality. And I think that Dak Prescott getting injured could potentially be a silver lining.
Silver lining.
Silver lining. Because forever with Dak the past few years since he got this contract, I feel like it's okay. Let Dak go back, throw it 40 times like you are the team. And now we're kind of getting back to our identity and what we're good at, which is running the football,
Zeke finally looks
winning in the
normal.
trenches. Yeah, Zeke looked great. Zeke looked really good. And winning in the trenches and not having to put all the weight on Dak's shoulder, which we've all known that Dak's not that guy that you put all the weight on Dak and say, go have fun. He's not Mahomes, he's not Allen. He is a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. And so I'm hoping that the team can take this underdog mentality, can take this philosophy and translate it for when Dak comes back. And if they can, man, this Cowboys team can be really, really fucking scary.
Yeah, I got a couple things on the Cowboys with what impressed me, and I think is going to make it a good battle come the end of the year for the division. First off, Eagles front, everyone's been talking about how dominant it's been, how they shut down the run, how they've been getting back to the passer. Y'all ran the ball very well against them.
We ran on them easy.
Very well on them. If y'all weren't down so much in that game, just y'all didn't run into second quarter Eagles and weren't down to start that second half. Probably would have had some more runs in there to make it even a closer game. And then also he was not sacked once. Now, probably a couple plays on those picks where he probably should have maybe even taken a sack instead of making some of the throws he did. But still, the fact that your O-line held up with some of the injuries that have been going on, held up with some of the fill-ins. Old Texas Tech boy Terrence Steele's looking like a hell of a right tackle right now.
Shout out Terrence Steele, dude.
Looking like a hell of a
He's playing
right
like a Pro
tackle.
Bowler.
Looking like a hell of a right tackle.
Met him.
So with the sorry, yeah, my bad. But so
You
with
met
that,
him?
He didn't meet him.
so with that being said, it's just there's a lot of good signs in a bad game, and I mean, defense also only gave up 6 points the whole entire second half. So I mean, there's a lot to hang your hat on there, especially just tough running in the second quarter Eagles who lead the NFL in second point scoring margin. So just one of the things, there's a lot of good to take away. It's going to be interesting to see, how those guys play. Hopefully they kind of saw what they could be without Dak, and maybe he lights up even a bigger fire under their ass to know what they could do maybe with Dak as well. So who knows what's going to happen with y'all.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they have a winning formula
They
that
do.
has been also proven to win in the playoffs, and that's run the ball, play good defense,
Yep.
and get a
Win
pass
in the
rush.
trenches.
And they can do that, especially, I mean, you're definitely going to want to pass a little bit more with Dak in there, but primarily if they stay a run-heavy ball club, I mean, I really, really hate it, but this is the year where they could actually get to the Super Bowl.
Especially because of
I
how bad that
fucking
The
NFC
NFC is wide, and it's solely because if we were in the AFC, I wouldn't say this, but yeah, solely because of how shit the NFC is right now.
Yeah.
It's so shit. And also, too, Tony Pollard, I think at this point,
He's a
is one of the
fucking
best
animal.
not running backs, like weapons
He's a
in the
fucking
league.
beast.
Like that guy, you
Yeah.
just give him the ball in space and let him make
Devo
magic
type.
happen, bro.
He's literally like a high
edge.
school recruit that comes out and is listed as like an athlete. Like I would just put him as
Yeah,
athlete,
yes,
like athlete.
yes.
That's him, athlete.
One other thing too, so I'm not like banking on this, but Tyron Smith is supposed to come back late season, and if a healthy Tyron Smith is still very good, and
Is there ever truly a healthy
is
Tyron
that- is
Smith?
that
or
I
even
mean-
or even at 80% Tyron Smith is still a Pro Bowl left tackle. I believe, at this point.
Yeah.
I would
That's how
say
it's been the
so.
past year
Yeah,
or two.
I'd
He's a
say
beast.
so.
And if
He's a Hall of Famer.
we get him back, we kick in Smith to left guard, and we have Tyler Smith.
Tyler Smith,
is the
yeah.
insurance policy. So I mean, the only thing that concerns me is that we are kind of top heavy to where I think if we were to lose, like one of the tackles, like Steele or like obviously Micah or D-Law, it may hurt us. But the defense. This defense looks like they love to play together. They know what they're doing. Dan Quinn has got a file under their ass. Shout out Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn, I think, is the best DC in the whole league. And, I mean, Donovan Wilson, we mentioned him last week. He's been a dog. Malik Hooker is finally healthy for the first time in his career. He's been a dog. Anthony Barr stepped in well. Dorrance Armstrong has 4 sacks this year, 5 sacks.
Looking good.
Like, who saw – he's going to get paid fat.
Sam Williams, the rookie, looking good.
Sam Williams, Osa Digizua. I mean – all of these guys are stepping up, and it all points back to my man Will McClay. Because this guy is the one that drafted all these motherfuckers, and he should be the highest paid front office guy in the whole league.
You'd suck Will McClay's dick, wouldn't you?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
First
He
Super Bowl
deserves
for
it.
sure.
Oh,
First
for
Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely.
First Super Bowl. Yes.
I'd suck maybe 2 or 3 dicks for a Super Bowl. You fucking kidding me? But Jesus.
But yeah, I
things,
love it.
My 2 things on the Cowboys is, first off, I'm glad the Cowboys fans are realizing that the Dak is their QB1. Before leading into this week, it was Cooper Rush.
That is a valid point.
I hate that.
Was it ever truly a question though?
No,
Like,
that was all
just
click.
Cowboys
That was all
fans.
clickbait.
That was just
material.
media.
But Cowboys
talk.
fans truly believe it in some aspect.
some
The
do.
stupid-
Some do.
Okay,
The ones
but
that
then we're
everyone
talking
hates,
Cowboys
yeah.
fans. Yes, they're like you're saying. Yes,
Yeah.
there's delusional Cowboy fans.
Most
which
of them.
are guys,
Most of them.
Most
which
of
are
them.
guys wearing wife beaters and Oakley oil rigs with the
Jean shorts.
yes, and then there's realists like myself that know that Cooper Rush is a good backup quarterback and nothing else.
With just a
But
bit of
the
bias.
sad-
Yeah.
maybe a little bit. But the sad part is that there are more of those Cowboy fans, the idiot Cowboy
Yeah.
fans, than there are
Shit, you're telling me.
of realists.
Yeah.
Maybe a little biased.
A
maybe
little biased.
bit,
A little
but-
biased. Yeah.
I'd say 85% of them are all
Yeah.
just
I mean, if you go to a game at
delusional.
AT&T Stadium and you walk through the tailgate, that's probably
That's all you need to know.
80% of the people.
Super Bowl
Yeah.
every
And
year.
they
Every year.
probably got a fat star on their shoulder.
80% of the 85% of dumb Cowboy fans are just at the tailgate, just getting ready for the game.
Half of them are wearing fucking Emmitt Smith jerseys, just living in those days.
And then that second thing about the game, what's the status on Lane Johnson? Because they
I'd
were
have to look at that.
absolutely rolling before he went down.
That's what changed the game.
right after he went down,
Because he was holding his own against Micah.
the
He
Eagles
was.
looked like a completely different team in
Yes.
the worst way
Mhm.
possible.
Exactly.
He
Well,
was
that was yes,
the difference
you're
maker in that
100%
game.
right. That the whole narrative of that game switched
Exactly.
whenever he went out. At that point, it was I think Jack or Jeff. Jeff Driscoll was the quarterback.
Oh,
I
he's
think
got a concussion.
Something
Jack
Driscoll.
Driscoll.
Yeah, Driscoll.
Some Driscoll, yeah.
Concussion hasn't
But
been
yeah,
live.
after that, Micah
Yeah.
had one-on-ones with that guy all day, and he was eating him alive. I mean, every play he was getting back there. Then they're having to bring Goddard to chip him and help him out.
And even Goddard
Like,
was not doing jack
No.
shit.
Throw Micah's monster ass over there to just fuck with him a little
Yeah.
bit, too. Yeah.
But I will give the Eagles credit for that last touchdown drive they had because it looked like momentum was completely shifted to the Cowboys
It did.
after that third quarter. And the Eagles had a fantastic long run the ball, meathead football drive.
Exactly.
head football
And
good quality football.
Good quality football right there. And they took the game back. And
There.
that 2-point, I'd probably gone for 2.
I'm
there.
excited for that next matchup.
Yeah.
Whenever they're both fully
Y'all
Y'all
healthy.
don't play till much
Knock
later
on
in the
wood.
season, right?
No, it's late. Yeah, it'll be a
That'll
Gerald.
be a huge
though.
game. Well, I think it's like week 16.
It's a late one. I don't know what.
But
week
the
it
thing is, like, it
exactly,
could be because, at that point,
Giants get them week 16, I think. I was looking
Yeah.
at their schedule.
Yeah.
Is it the last game of the year?
I think they got
Cowboys,
it's week
Eagles?
16 or 17, I think.
I hope it's
Either
the
way.
last game of the year.
But either way, because the Eagles at that point, honestly, they could have already possibly wrapped up the number 1 seeds. They might not even be trying that game.
Hold on, other question I would ask.
What's that?
Because I know we've touched on this, but based on how easy the Eagles' schedule is, which
17-0.
is there a
No.
possibility that they go 7? I know we
There's
talked
gonna
about this the
be-
other day.
No.
But
I think
The
to what-
schedule allows it to possibly happen.
I
the
think
best
to
team
what-
they play is the Cowboys, and then honestly, probably the Giants after that.
Yeah.
I think to what Dylan noted, I think that notice how things went when Lane Johnson went out of the game. I think there could be a game where that becomes like an issue. I haven't really looked at their schedule to see who they play, but I bet there's one game
Yeah,
that
Packers,
causes some
Saints,
problems where
like,
Hurts gets sacked, maybe gets a strip sack or two, something like that. Maybe throws a pick or something. I bet there will be a game that happens. Because I mean, Jalen
Have an
Hurts.
off game. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
it's gonna
Jalen Hurts has
happen.
come a long way. I mean, he's looking a lot better, but I'm sure there's still going to be a bad game or two that's going to get the media riled up and get something to talk about. So I just don't see it just being. It's just so hard to do that and maintain it. I just don't. I would have thought the Bills would have done it before them. So that's why I don't think they will.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't think they will at all.
Mhm.
But I think it's a fun little like hypothetical.
It is,
Well,
yeah.
as dominant as they've been, like they still. I mean, besides the Lions game, I don't think they've put up 30+ points.
No,
And it's like
they're not good in the second half either.
Yeah.
They
No,
get
it's
that.
Cold in the second
They
half.
dominate in the second quarter. They get a lead on you going into the third quarter, and then you play into their hands with the big lead because they kind of just run it up on you in the second, and they're just running the ball. I mean, I think they had about 30 carries in total, 30 different run plays. And that was just the 4 different ball carriers at least. So their game plan is just once they get that lead, they're going to start running it. And if they're getting 3-4 yards at a time, it's just good luck. But luckily, y'all were stopping them and making them not able to do that. So there you go.
It's I mean, that Jackson was impressive. Them falling down 14-0, rallying back, winning that game very convincingly, and then I mean, I really that drive that they had against y'all, like that's just a winning football.
That's a winning,
team drive,
exactly.
You know?
Just winning football. That's what Sirianni's teaching out there is just have fun, and
Yeah,
then when
and
it comes down to
Dog
it, execute.
mentality.
And
Yeah,
my thing with
exactly.
the Eagles, like they look great, but I want to see it come playoff time.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Because I'm okay. I think Jalen Hurts is a very good QB, but I'm still not completely sold on Jalen Hurts.
I mean, I think he's a very good quarterback, but he's not, to me, one of those guys that is in
Elevates.
that
You
upper
move heaven and
echelon.
earth over to
No.
to keep. At least not as of right
He
now.
still scares me in close game situations
when you have to throw the ball.
when you have to throw the ball efficiently and make those tight throws.
Because he's been running the ball an absurd amount.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. I mean, that's the only way they're going to win.
Yeah.
That's
And
the way that
more
will
credit
help
to
them win.
Sirianni though for realizing that and then using it to their
Yeah,
advantage.
he is what Cliff needs to be doing.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Literally
He's-
putting
he's-
guys in the right places. Yep.
He's molding to his players' talents and he's using it.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right.
He's getting everything out of them.
That was a good one,
Good
though.
for the Eagles. Yeah, good for the boys staying competitive. But
I think it's the best loss we could have had.
Yeah.
hey, gotta love
Yeah.
a good loss.
Gotta love a
Everyone
good
needs a
loss.
good loss.
Yep.
All right. Bills at Chiefs. Bills win 24-20. It was not as high scoring as it should have
Bills
been.
cover.
Bills do cover. But it was a good game. And Josh Allen made a great throw to Dawson Knox at the end to win that game. And Mahomes threw a pick that's very uncharacteristic of him in that minute and a half
Second
left
one
moment.
in the late game situation this year already.
Wow.
Yeah. You
Colts-
really
Colts put
wondered.
the Chiefs away in that late game pick on that game winning, and then he does
Yeah.
it again today.
Well, you really wonder if the Chiefs got to be missing Tyreek Hill in moments like
Well,
that.
I mean,
Like,
Yeah.
anyone would. I mean, there's literally probably only 2 guys in the league who can move around like Tyreek can. So I think anyone's gonna
Or zero.
or zero.
I think
Yeah.
it's 0.
I think
it's-
the only
Debo
other
may
guy,
be
the only
closest.
other guy is on his team is Waddle, who can even like remotely move around the field like he can. But with that being said, I mean, I think anyone would miss him. I just think it's just one of those things where he's just still getting used to working with the weapons, and then he still needs to gain the trust of them and in these crunch time situations because he doesn't have that full trust yet, which is good for a quarterback. Kind of just make sure like he wants that trust. That's what all the good quarterbacks, they want their receivers to earn the trust, makes them play better, makes the team better, that sort of stuff. But at the same time, these clutch situations, he's just trying to do way too damn much. And it's because he's not knowing who he can trust other than Travis Kelce in those big time situations. But I do think Juju Smith-Schuster's about to pick that up, and he showed that he can make some big plays after the catch. I think Pat needed to see him do those sort of things. So it'll be interesting to see like how they move forward offensively. They're going to be all right. I know I was down on them earlier in the year because I was just worried about kind of this sort of stuff. But from what I've seen and how they're playing this year on the defensive end too, they're going to be a playoff team still. It's just one of those things where Pat's got to get that trust with some of the new guys. And then once he gets that, you're going to start seeing him let it fly a little more once he gets that trust from them.
Well, I mean, they had the number 1 offense going into this game.
Mhm.
I mean, they're definitely still putting up points.
Yeah.
It's not an issue, but it's just they don't put the same fear of God in you that they did when they had Tyreek.
But it's
just like-
the clutch
not the
time
same.
offense that's worrying me. When they get the
Yes.
leads, they're doing well. But when it's that
Because between the 20s
Mhm.
before the fourth, they are running the ball better now than they have been in the Tyreek era.
right.
But my thing with the Bills is I think it's super cool and encouraging to see the Bills actually win a crunch time game, because that has been, their kryptonite right now is every win they have, they win by like 30 fucking points.
Yeah.
And the fact that Allen maneuvered that drive, got them to score. And I thought the Chiefs were going to come back and win it, honestly, with like a minute and 20 left or whatever it was on the clock. But the Bills, man. I mean, the Bills – that whole game, they put up 24, but it seemed like they should have put up 38. I mean, every possession they were driving down the field. I mean, they had two.
I mean, they were getting like 20-yard
zone,
completions. They were getting like 20-yard completions on like 3rd and 8s and shit like that. Like
yeah.
easy, just making it look like they're just practicing out there, basically.
Yeah. I mean, Allen is just so incredibly talented. But yeah, going back when we were talking about the running. He's got to be smart.
He's scaring the fuck out of me for fantasy.
Yes,
I'll tell you that.
if I was a Bills fan, I would be terrified that he is going to get hurt.
I was worried.
He takes so many unnecessary hits to where it's like you're getting an extra yard or two, but it's like when you are the face of this team, you're getting paid the big bucks.
League almost. I mean,
face of the league, yeah.
It's
like
B.
You can't, unless it's a fourth quarter, fourth down, playoff time thing. Like, I don't want you taking these hits. Just get out of bounds or slide. Which he just has not adopted that mindset.
I don't think there's a Josh Allen fantasy owner that is happier than me that he did not get clipped on that hurdle. I was so worried he was just going to get absolutely just fucked up on that play there.
He's a fantasy god.
I'll play devil's advocate here. He's 6'5", 240 pounds. I mean, there's not a dude on that football field that is
he's a big boy
that is behind the defensive line that he ultimately should be scared of laying the
I don't think he should be,
not,
but I think
long term. It's all
and
about long
I think
term
it's all just a guy hits you in the wrong spot.
That's true.
Yeah, like if he got
clipped, a
clipped,
bit lower than he
gets
should,
fucking flipped, lands on his head, like fuck.
But hits add up in this league. I mean, no matter how big you are, hits do add up. Like,
and he takes a lot of them.
He does.
He takes too many for someone who's that fucking good. Like, especially someone who they're already paying a fuck ton of money to.
I mean, he even takes hits in games where they're like up big time,
running quarterback power.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? You're up by 4 touchdowns.
Because, I mean, last year they didn't really start incorporating that until the later in the season, which is like that's the perfect plan. Like, you use that in the playoffs, late in the season when you really have to.
Use it when you need to.
Yeah, and not fucking week 4 against the.
And the Chiefs gets the Chiefs Bills. I understand it more in that game, but against the Steelers or one of these shit stained teams that they're playing early in the year. It's like you gotta chill out, man.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's worried about the Chiefs. I mean, these are the 2 best teams in the league.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about them
I think that this probably decided who has the 1 and 2 seed, if I had to guess. Because if it comes down to them having the same record, the Bills are obviously going to take it.
Yeah, I think I honestly, it may be premature, but I think the Bills may have already wrapped up the 1 seed just based on their schedule too. The Chiefs have a fucking
the AFC
very
West,
very hard. The Chiefs' schedule is insanely
a gauntlet,
hard,
regardless of how the Broncos and the Raiders have. I mean, even the Chargers at this point have played out, but you go into those games and
it's still a divisional game.
And those it's weird because you know how like the winner of the division plays another division winner. It's the Bills got the lucky end of that stick this year. That's all I'll say of like which division winners they were playing. Because the Chiefs got some tough draws with who they have to play for division winners.
The Chiefs' schedule might be the hardest
it's
schedule
tough.
I've ever seen.
It is tough.
Because we went through all the schedules preseason. There's, that whole division schedule is absurd.
Brutal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was 100% wrong on the AFC West. I thought that was going to be by far the best division in sports.
Oh, we all did.
I thought the Broncos were going to
be insane. You would be insane. I picked the Broncos to win the division preseason.
Might be a bad take.
Might be a bad take. Take it off the chin.
All right. Well, speaking of the AFC West, the last game we're going to discuss last night, Broncos at Chargers. Chargers won 19-16. Terrible game to watch.
Terrible game.
That was the Broncos. Thank God are done with. I think they have one more the rest of the way.
They've had 4 out of 6 primetime games.
I think one of the next games they play is in London, so no one will be watching that. Thank God. Bad game. Broncos both. I mean, this should have been a tie. No one should have won this game, honestly.
All right.
Yeah, both head coaches look like bad. And Biggie, I know you want to go in on Staley, so
so
the floor is yours.
My thing with fucking Staley is what I noticed at the end of the game.
Twat.
Usually, what really good coaches do is that they save their timeout so that at the end of the game they can use them and that they run out of them in a key situation where they need to move the ball, need to stop the clock, that sort of thing. When I saw that Staley ended that fourth quarter with how they were moving the ball at the end of it, with still 2 fucking timeouts. I swear to God, he was playing to go to overtime. I swear to God. I don't know what he was
It looked
doing.
like that.
It looked like it. I don't know what he's doing. He just doesn't seem to quite – he wants to be super aggressive at times, and then at times when it comes to winning the game, he makes a boneheaded conservative decision because he's been too aggressive to put him in that place in the first place. And so it just fucks everything up. But it just comes down to where I think he's going to get fired at this point at the end of the year, because I think there's just a lot of people who could just execute those simple things and manage the end of the games better and make better decisions like that. And now they lost their kicker too, so he's going to be even more aggressive. Might need to be more fucking stupid too. So we'll have to see how that changes things for the Chargers with Hopkins going down for a couple weeks with that hamstring. So, but Brandon Staley looks like a fucking idiot out there still. I hate his time management. He reminds me of
he's
of a
terrible.
young Bill O'Brien because he also has a slight butt chin, and it also looks very punchable. And so, with that being said, I don't like him. He's stupid. He needs to get fired. He needs to be a defensive coordinator again. Get out of there.
I mean, speaking of
He's
butt
stupid.
chins, has there ever been a successful butt chin coach?
Fuck no,
I
there
can't think of one
hasn't.
off the top of my head. I can't think of
If your
one.
players want
Butt
to
chin-
punch you in
just
the
go
face
back.
because of your
Yeah.
fucking chin, you will not
I
be a
mean-
successful head coach.
Can we get a butt chin roll call? I mean, what are we working?
I have to get a butt chin lineup.
That'll be next week.
All-time butt
A
chins.
butt chin
All-time butt
lineup.
chins. Yeah.
But no, I think that, like, going on what you're saying is, like, Staley gets ultra conservative now. I think he's in his head because last year
Exactly.
he goes for all these plays, this big analytic guy and all this shit, and the media just scrutinizes him and like, what are you doing? And now in a time to where it's like, okay, maybe you should push the ball more downfield. Now he's holding his guns. He's not fired.
You got to double down.
You got to
You gotta
double
double
down.
down. You gotta double down. And
You got
yeah,
to.
and, he's just fucking stupid, man. I don't know what
He
it is.
sucks.
They need Keenan Allen back so bad.
They do.
Yeah.
They can't be throwing the ball to Josh Palmer 12 times.
I mean, and then
They
you
threw him
have
12
Mike
Get 12
Williams.
targets.
Sertan was on
Pretty
Williams,
locked
and I
down.
think
PS
Sertan's a
PS2
monster.
Stud.
Yeah.
Other
He's just-
stud.
My thing too, though, is like their defense has not really played that well, and I get it. You lost Joey Bosa, but
You're supposed to be a defensive coach.
you still, your defensive coach.
That's what you
and
same
fucking
problems
do.
from last year are still there.
I know
And
you
the-
lost Bosa, but you still have talent everywhere all over that defense, and yeah, that's why you're there is to elevate that defense. And their defense is last in the league against the run right now.
well, they had the
That's
same
what-
problems
that's
last year, and they're
unacceptable. That's
still there.
unacceptable.
We talked about
You
this
have to
in the
fix things.
We talked about this in the beginning of the year when we were doing our predictions for the AFC West and things like that. My thing with the Chargers was, yes, they have the players and the skills to be amazing on defense, but unless they can stop the run, they're going to be in a problem because these teams are just going to put them in these situations that they've been in, and then you're going to have to rely on times when you need good coaching, and they don't fucking have that right now. So it kind of puts themselves in a pickle because once you can run the ball on them, they're fucked. The Eagles would beat the living shit out of the Chargers. That's all I know. So
I mean,
hell, the Jags put up 38-10?
exactly, because they're
Yeah.
just
Week
running
3?
the shit out of the ball.
any team that could run decently is going to beat the Chargers.
Literally. So I don't know. He's just an idiot.
I mean, it's like you're allowing that run, and you're wasting J.C. Jackson. You're wasting Asante Samuel Jr.
Derwin.
Maybe throw Derwin in the box. I know Derwin's could be a box
Derwin's
guy.
got in
Maybe
a
throw him
couple.
box more.
Derwin's been in the box a lot
Derwin's
more.
been good.
Yeah, he's been in
He's
the
been
box
good.
a
He
lot
hasn't been the
more.
problem.
Yeah,
Awesome.
he's a
Derwin's
monster.
great.
Yeah.
He hasn't. It's been the front seven has been the problem.
All right, well, let's not let the Broncos get off from this.
No, they're
shit
up.
pile
They're
we
up
got
next.
here,
Yeah,
'cause,
they're up next.
I mean, Russ looked great in the first quarter, and then after that, he looked like shit.
This is just a
As
shit
usual.
stew game right
yeah.
here.
Dangerous.
Dangerous, baby.
Dangerous.
And I mean, Nathaniel Hackett, he's a joke. I mean,
He is
better be
such a
gone at the end of
fucking
the year.
joke.
He's a
he'll be
meme.
gone this year because they hitched their wagon to Russ, so they're gonna keep backing Russ for the next couple of years.
Yeah, they're tied up with Russ, no doubt about that.
What was that,
Hackett's-
2027?
Yeah.
I think
That
it's
is
four,
absurd.
4 or 5 year
I think
deal.
it's 5.
Five. And the dead
Wow.
money, on that deal is hilarious.
You know what's sad too is this was the first game to where they actually incorporated Russell's legs, and they still didn't do anything.
Well, they went away from it.
They stopped. They
had
stopped
a
doing
good
it.
drive, and they went away
They
from it. Well, I
stopped
guess he
doing
hurt
it.
his hamstring.
Was it-
I guess he hurt his hamstring,
but they incorporated the first 5 games. They didn't use his legs
God,
one bit.
no. And then the third
And
quarter
now
was
they're
one
getting
drive they
desperate,
did.
saying we're 2 and 3. We probably need to use his legs, and then they did, and they still scored 16.
I mean, I just don't think he's a good quarterback this year. Granted, it's a new system. You can use all those excuses, but he has missed so many open throws this year.
Looks like shit.
One One to win the Colts on the designed pick play in the end zone. What was that? Hamler, who was wide open.
Wide open.
I mean, why would you ever try and go Cortland Sutton single coverage?
Dude, it's
Stephon Gilmore
Yeah.
versus the design play on the right side. I think a handful of that Jerry Jeudy early in that second quarter when he just way threw him on the right instead of leading him to the edge. There's just so many plays.
Because we know the talent's there on the receiver corps. I mean, they got Jeudy and Sutton.
And we were saying
Hamler, that's about as good as you can ask for in the NFL.
And we were saying they were a quarterback away, like that roster was. And we thought Russ was that quarterback, but he does not look like a good quarterback.
Looks like dog shit.
I mean, they're the same team, if not better, with Teddy Bridgewater. Than Russ right now.
Yeah,
Ugh,
I mean,
man.
honestly,
what he's doing,
if they have Teddy fully healthy last year, I know he didn't play the full season, but they're probably 7-10 or 8-9, and that's what they're looking like they're gonna be right now.
I bet Vic Fangio sitting on his couch smoking a cigar,
he's
just
smiling.
having a time. Like
Fangio's chilling.
But then again, like if you're the Broncos defense, it's like, what more can we do? And at what point
It's gotta
do we
piss you
mentally
off.
just buy out?
It's got to
Like,
piss you off.
Clock out.
It's got to make
it's gotta
infuriate them. It's got to be so infuriating.
Because their defense played their ass off, and
They
they
do
have
every
week
week.
in and week out. Their defense is
I think
fucking
they
awesome.
pulled every team but one to less than 17 points in regular time. I think that's what the stat was. I mean, you can't ask for any more than that.
No, especially when you got a quarterback who's got how much money guaranteed? to him?
235?
Yeah, just ridiculous.
Holy fuck. They're so fucked. That's all I know. Both teams are just absolutely fucked. They're just wasting talent.
And
If that report's true and the Chargers will get Sean Payton, I think they won't be as fucked.
That is true. If that's true, they're fine. But
also with the Broncos, like they don't have the true defining problem. Like Russell's not playing good. The offensive line's not playing good.
It's
like,
everything.
They're
It's
like
a combination of things.
they're
too-
like death by a million bullets over here.
Yes.
They just like are not playing good in any aspect of the game.
Because last year their rushing attack was still top 10 with Teddy and Drew Lock in there, and now their rushing attack is not. It's not really that
I
existent.
mean, Melvin Gordon's get 3 carries the entire game.
Yeah.
And
he has fumble issues. He's playing his old team, so he may have.
I mean,
extra-
Seattle just looks like. I mean, they just look like geniuses right now. The whole narrative is like you won't let Russ cook.
Yeah.
Like really, and now we see Geno cooking, and we see Russ sitting on his ass.
I think Seattle.
Apparently everybody hated him in Seattle too.
Yeah,
I don't
for a reason,
and I see why.
I think
He's just
Seattle
a
knows what
fucking
the
weird
fuck they're
dude.
doing up there. That's all I know. I think they've got to kind of figure it out with when to get rid of someone and when to like go for more because they seem to know what they were doing when getting that much out of Russell Wilson. So it's looking good for them.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm a godly man. I'm a Christian, but like, I hate when athletes use that. Oh well, it's in God's hands. This is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, the Tim Tebow era is over.
You can't use that as an excuse for your shitty play. Like, you have to take some ownership. Realize that you're playing like dog shit.
after the 6th week in a row,
and
it's
acknowledge
not God's
that
fault anymore.
and acknowledge that to the media.
At this point, it needs to be. You need to go to that person and say, "It's on me. I need to play better. I am not playing to my full capability. I will get better. I'll figure it out."
Broncos country, let's
no,
ride.
no one wants to hear this God shit. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm a Christian man too, but God's not going to win you football games in the NFL. It's not going to happen. Pray all you want. Read your Bible. I don't fucking care. You gotta do it.
Whoa. All right. Saying
You gotta do it.
The God statement? Nah, that can't happen. Not here. Not on PTA.
Just take some ownership. That's all I want.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Just do it. Okay. Well, that wraps up our Week 6 recap. Now, next.
What a week.
Cole's got a juicy.
Oh, it's real
Our first
juicy.
top 10 power rankings of the season.
We know y'all been craving one, and I got one.
T-Bone, go
fresh
get 'em.
off the press. Alrighty. All right, I'll start from 10 down to 1. All right, 10. I got the Los Angeles Chargers.
Okay.
All right, at
Let's
9.
just roll through this and we'll get back to
All
you.
right, at 9, I got your Giants.
Hell yeah.
At 8, I got the Vikings. At 7, I got Cincy. 6, I got the Baltimore Ravens. 5, go Boys. 4, 49ers. 3, Philly. 2, Kansas City Chiefs. And number 1, the unanimous Bills.
I mean, I put the Cowboys over the Niners.
I think the Niners are overrated, and
See,
the Vikings are underrated.
I think the Vikings are overrated.
I think
I know
Oh,
they're
yeah.
I
They're
know
5
they're
and
5
1, but
they're
no.
5-1, but Green Bay missed countless starters when they played, and I don't think Green Bay's that good, honestly. Detroit almost beat them. Detroit almost came back. They had injuries, too. They beat New Orleans barely without a QB. They beat Miami with Teddy B in there, and they easily could have lost that game, too. I just haven't seen anything from Minnesota to where I'm like, this team's legit. They've squeaked out wins, and they are 5-1. I'll give them credit for that. But I think they're still limited by Kirk Cousins, and I think their defense, they got Za'Darius and they got Danielle Hunter, but I think their defense is still like not dominant. Like,
I'd be more encouraged by what the Jets are doing personally than at least the Jets, like they have a really strong defense. What do the Colts, what do the Vikings do that's like, okay, we gotta obviously have Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook.
Yeah. But we haven't seen offensive fireworks from them yet.
No.
I just think,
and that was what we thought we were going to see. That's what their identity was, the offensive points.
I just think they're a lot more well-rounded than some of the other teams in the top 10.
I think that the Niners are too high on that list.
Okay, the Niners were missing half of their starters this week. They're
still 3-3 though.
They are
five.
They are 3-3, but this Niners team is one of the few teams in the league that we know their identity. We know what they're going to do, and I know I can understand why they're not high. You can say they have injuries, which could put them back.
But top 5.
But what have they done?
But it's not what they have done. It's what I know they can do.
This is right now.
I don't care. I'm putting the Niners at 4. I'm holding them there. I still think come playoff time, this Niner team could easily be a team that gets the Super Bowl. They have the same roster as last year, and they were a play or two away from beating the Rams and being in that Super Bowl.
I think last year was a fluke.
They made the Super Bowl. They made the Super Bowl a few years before that with Jimmy G, and pretty much the same. This roster has been. They've kind of had the same core for a while now.
But thus far,
Trent Williams is gone. Nick Bosa was hurt. They were missing 9 other starters as well.
I just think they are a good roster and they've stayed the same. But I think the NFL, some of the teams in the rosters have gotten a lot better.
So who do you take over the Niners?
Cowboys.
I'm putting
the boys.
I can't say the Ravens.
I think the Cowboys. I think the Giants have a better.
I think the Bengals right now are better than the 49ers personally.
Right now, yes. Right now, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Where they'll end up, I don't know. But right now, yes.
And
I think 49ers are fringe top 10.
And I'm doing this with I'm not including Trent Williams in this, but Nick Bosa has a minor injury. He'll be back next week. So I'm including Nick Bosa being healthy in this lineup right here. And I think their front 7 is the best in the league. Their secondary's gotten better. They added Charvarius Ward, who's been a dog. They have that safety. Troy Polamalu light version.
Yes,
Hufanga. Yeah.
Hufanga. Yeah. And I love Kyle Shanahan. If I'm going to invest in any coach outside of Bill Belichick, it's going to be Shanahan specifically on the offensive side of things. And I'm a huge Niner fan. I'm not going to be shocked one bit if the Niners come playoff time are right where they were last year because they have the same team.
Yes, but right now they just lost to the Falcons by 2 touchdowns.
I
got them up there.
As far as the list goes, I think the Colts are a better team right now. I think there are a couple of others.
And the Niners?
I think the Dolphins are a better team.
With Tua out, you think the Dolphins
Tua's
are better?
coming back this week. I think, hell, with Skylar Thompson, they put up decent numbers.
Against I'm not.
Teddy
I'm not
played.
super high
Teddy
on
played in
Vikings
the
either.
Dolphins game too, though. He came in there and was slinging it also.
Yeah, I think either way with those backup quarterbacks, they're a tiny bit worse than the 49ers. Once you get Tua back, I think they're pretty convincingly better.
I love the Niners because they know what they are. They're going to run the ball and yes, I know it may be premature to put them at 4 right now because of their injuries, but I'm looking at this a glass half full perspective with them because they will get Trent Williams back. They will get Nick Bosa back, and I don't even know who the other 9 starters are that are out for them, honestly. But they have 9 other starters that missed last week, so they're down real bad. Yeah. Any team that is missing half of their starters is probably going to lose to the Falcons. The Falcons are a competitive team.
Yes, but I think still to put them at 4 through 6 weeks when they're 3-3 is just it's a bit much.
It's early.
It might be,
especially when the Cowboys are 4-2 and their defense has looked as good as it has.
Yeah, I would probably have.
Yeah,
I would probably have the Cowboys up there at number 4 instead. In all honesty, and then just how things are going, and then the Giants. I think you have the Giants a little just because like I know just how you said you went off like basing your kind of power ranking with the Niners. I'm thinking with yours, you also probably just don't think the Giants will like keep it up probably still throughout the year, which is reasonable.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah,
fair.
but because of that, still, just because we're looking at it now, I think they got to be up there, honestly, still in like the top 5. Maybe you put the Chargers in ahead of them, or maybe even put the Vikings ahead of them if you're not fully into them. But I just don't think as of right now I can put the Chargers, or not the Chargers, the 49ers in my top 10.
I mean, I think like you could put the Jets or the Patriots over the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
And see, okay, with this, the best way I put it is coming into Week 7 head-to-head matchup.
Yeah.
Like I personally would take the Niners over the Ravens, Vikings,
28 other
Giants.
teams.
Yeah, I would. In a Week 7 head-to-head matchup, I would.
You would take one of the Cowboys right now?
Yeah.
Oh, you're lying through your teeth. You are lying through your teeth.
That must have hurt
I don't
like
know
a motherfucker.
I do not know. Dak's coming back from a thumb injury. The Niners have our number.
This is the best defense in the NFL. And I'm not a Cowboys fan, and I'll be the first one to say
it might be. Okay, I got you know, yin and yang. It's 4 and 5. Okay, it's interchangeable. All right, I actually had the Cowboys at 4 initially, and then I flipped them.
I think that the 49ers are way too inconsistent. We don't know what we're going to get. Are we going to get a Jimmy G who's competent? Are we going to get a Jimmy G who throws 2 or 3 picks? That's just a huge question mark that needs to be filled, which hasn't been filled in the past.
And I can understand that for a regular season power ranking, and that's why, you know, a lot of this too is what I know the 49ers are capable of doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I think my real only argument on there is the Niners, and I do think that the Jets or Patriots should be above the Chargers because the Chargers have not won pretty.
They have not.
Lost by 38-10 to the fucking Jags.
Yep.
They are 4-2 though, and Keenan Allen should be back
4-2?
next week.
They're 4-2 somehow.
4-2.
I don't know.
And Keenan Allen
Christ.
should be back
Keenan Allen
next
come
week.
back. I mean,
The ugliest 4-2 I've seen
I know
this year.
Slater's out.
there's a lot of ugly 4-2s and 3-2s.
There's
There's
a lot
some
of
ugly
lot
5-1s.
There's been a lot of ugly
There's
wins.
there's a couple of ugly 5-1s.
This is a weird year.
I mean, I think this is the year that you were like, anybody can be in the top 10 and be justified.
yeah.
Yeah, there's like 16 teams.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
why.
the Bears are 2 and 4.
Yeah, they're in the bottom.
The Seahawks.
They're in the bottom 5.
See, I mean,
You could make a case for them.
you,
like,
you, you probably could.
Zans aren't the
You probably
worst.
could.
That's
It's a
all
weird-
I
it's a
know.
weird
Zans
year.
aren't the worst. Panthers are the
No,
worst.
they are not.
Panthers are the worst for sure.
Poor Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Well,
hold on a second. I'm gonna go refill my drink.
yeah, that's Niners talk with Punch the Air, and we're back. Next up, we got a panic meter. Yeah.
The alarm's going off.
Yeah, that's the sound it makes.
Shout out my apartment for
All right.
alarm drills.
We got what, 7 or 8 teams here, and we're gonna list off 1 through 10 what their panic meter should be. 10 being very panicky.
Nuclear. Yeah.
And then 1 not being panicked at all. We're sitting on the couch smoking a cig. All right. First up, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I'd put them at like a 5. I think with the panic meter on the Bucs, it's all about it's all about how like you have your own individual expectations on them. Like, and for me, I'll do a 6. I was someone that came into the season to where I'm like, the Bucs in my mind are the favorites out of the NFC. Like, they have Brady back, they have the whole team back minus Ryan Jensen, who's hurt. But I'm betting, like I said earlier, I'm betting on Brady to figure it out. He missed some throws the other day, but his arm, he's still got zip on the ball. Like, he looks fine. The defense is elite. I think the interior's going to figure out. They'll get Jensen back maybe week 15, 16. And I think this team's going to get in the playoffs. I don't think anyone's saying they're not. And once they do get in the playoffs, come playoff time with Brady back there, they can make it happen, especially in this shitty-ass conference. I'll keep it at 5.
All right. I'll go with the 6. I'm going to stick with the 6, mainly just because of what the expectations are. When you play with Tom Brady, you don't play over there with him with the expectation of just to win a division. Because right now I don't really see them making a long run in the playoffs, which I know it's never a good idea to count Tom Brady out. But just from what I'm seeing so far from the team, I'm really not liking it. They've just been way too inconsistent. Offense needs to be doing way better at what they have. I know they have O-line issues, but still, you got to be able to overcome that when you have the talent to do so. And then also with that too, the main reason they're at a 6 and not higher in a team who might be in their position, a similar position like them, is because they do have Tom Brady. I'm not counting him out. I'm never betting against him. It's just that at this point, I don't see them being a Super Bowl contender right now. I think they're going to be a fringe playoff team at this point, and that's not what you sign up for when you get Tom Brady. So I'm going to say 6.
So in this current state of the NFC, you don't think they're a Super Bowl contender?
I don't think so. No, because I think the Cowboys are way better than them. I think the Cowboys would really pose some problems with who they are now, not the Week 1 game. I think that was it.
But what about come playoff time once they do get Jensen back?
Depends what their
Hopefully
matchup
Brady
is.
with this Giselle shit.
Get their sea legs
Yeah,
under
like
them.
if they run into the 49ers, that's not a good matchup for them at all, I don't think. If they run into the Eagles because they are a fringe playoff team and win their wild card game, that's not a good matchup for them. If they are a fringe playoff team,
Play the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, I don't want to say the Giants won't be a playoff team, but at this rate, they look like they're going to be. Being 5-1 definitely gives you a good edge on being able to do so. So they're looking good for sure, but I mean, it's just at the Bucs, that's not what you sign up for with Brady. So I think they will get right. It's just until we see them really do it, I'm gonna have them at a 6.
Okay.
I'm going to put them at a 7. I am very
You're
concerned
worried.
for them. The only thing that I think that's keeping them in this playoff race is the fact that they're in the NFC.
Literally.
I think Brady has looked like a subpar quarterback over the course of these 6 games. He hasn't made great throws. I've seen him make countless throws that are 5 feet beneath the receiver. Granted, he's been in 3rd down and 12, 3rd down and 10 conditions a lot, but I mean, they're not very cohesive. I'm honestly concerned for Tom Brady on how much he is thinking about football. Yeah, he's got some maybe relationship issues, but he just doesn't look like the Tom Brady that we've seen over the past million years in football.
Yeah. You didn't have to go to Robert Kraft's wedding on the Friday and miss the team playing and all that. That was probably could have missed that.
I think he's earned that right though.
I know, but
I think he's earned that right to go to
to
Robert
be fair,
Kraft's
we
wedding.
thought like him missing training camp, him missing
taking
certain
off
days.
every
But that's sort-
yeah, like we thought that wasn't going to be a big deal, but they just lost to the fucking Steelers.
They're 3-3.
But
I mean,
he's 45.
I know that
I know.
same sort of like he's earned the right to though. That was what was going on with Seattle.
they can't tell him
that's what
no,
was going on with Seattle and Russ, and now that's looking like that was probably something that was holding it back a little bit now, if you think about it in all honesty.
I don't think we can compare Tom Brady to Russ.
I'm just saying
in
I'm just
anything.
saying in terms of like the situation.
You don't think he's
The
dangerous?
situation in terms of how they're above what everyone else on the team is held accountable for. I think that's a little different, and especially when you're not playing well. I think that you need to really be in the right place to be doing so, not taking time away for a wedding of your former guy your former boss. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go the opposite of y'all. I'm gonna say it's a 4.
Okay.
I think just there's still a lot of time left in this season for things to get right. They're in the conference to where they can't afford to. I mean, they did lose to the Steelers, but they can afford to do that in this conference and still win the division. And I mean, we've seen Brady's made a career out of playing his best football after Thanksgiving, and there's definitely still plenty of time left to do so. So I'm gonna bank on Brady and him getting this right, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Like,
Yeah. And we can't ignore the fact, too, that this defense is legit.
It's very
defense is
legit.
Like, the offense can slack, but this defense will keep them in games. Like, this defense is very, very good.
good defense. All right, next up, the Green Bay Packers.
I will put this one at an 8. Maybe, actually, fuck it. We'll do a 9 for this one. I mean, it's hot. It's getting sauna level in this bitch. I mean,
9 is definitely a sauna.
It's a sauna. Yeah, it's a Joe Rogan sauna experience here. But I mean, it's like we said. Like we've never really seen Aaron Rodgers thrive with young receivers that he doesn't trust. And Randall Cobb's now he tears Achilles or whatever. He's out for the year. The defense hasn't looked like it's supposed to. The offensive line hasn't held up like it's supposed to. And I don't know. And I think Matt LaFleur may be one of these coaches that we've put on a higher pedestal than he actually deserves. Because in reality, like his regular season record's great, but come playoff time, comes when it really matters, he really hasn't proven that much.
He's also gifted Aaron Rodgers.
He's gifted arguably the most talented quarterback of all time. And when you combine all of those things and the fact that I don't even know if Aaron's head's really in football right now. I mean, he's good for him taking ayahuasca, getting all spiritual, getting that cool tattoo or whatever.
Dope.
Yeah, that dope tattoo. But I'm putting him at a 9, and I really think that if the Packers really have a case of missing the playoffs. I really believe that. And then if that happens, who knows what the stories this offseason with Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay or in Aaron Rodgers' career as a whole.
Yeah. Big E.
So I'll probably say I'm going to say a 7. And the main reason for that is really just because I do think that I heard some rumors that around like just kind of like looking around NFL stuff that they are looking at adding somebody before the trade deadline in terms of like a receiving threat or a tight end possibly. So I do think that help might.
They got Bob Tunyon.
Huh? What was that? I couldn't hear.
They got big Bob Tunyon.
He's good about it. I mean, you could, if there's an option to upgrade,
Yeah,
there's an upgrade to upgrade. You always will. But I think they're going to be busy in here in a little bit. I do think Odell Beckham's going to be getting a call for them here in just a little bit. I do think they need some help, but because they are the Green Bay Packers and because they do have Aaron Rodgers and because they are in a division that has the Lions and the Bears in it that they get to run up twice on, I think they're still going to be a relevant team. I just think that the defense needs to play a lot better in terms of the run game. Everyone's running the ball on them, basically. I mean, I was looking up just in terms of fantasy, trying to figure out who I should start for that. And basically every running back they've played has given up at least 85 yards to them every single time. Now, they may or may not score, but the fact that, some of these teams are not that great that they've played, and now they played some good ones along the way so far, they're just running all over them and keeping Rodgers off the field and making him have to throw to those young receivers that he does not fully trust yet. So it's iffy, so I'm putting them at a 7, but I do think brighter things are come if they do add somebody, which I think they will. DJ Moore is my take, who they're going to trade for.
My thing, too, is, though, is like I feel like there's definitely no guarantee that they do add someone just based on how conservative this front office has been.
Yeah.
And I feel like there is real tension in the building with Aaron and that front office. I mean, obviously started with drafting Jordan Love a few years ago, not adding any real significant offensive pieces, and now it shows, and we're seeing it in real time that there's not any really talent on the perimeter for him to go to.
Aaron's chill though.
He's
chill. He's chill.
I'm gonna put him at a 7 as well.
Beanie season for him.
I mean, I think them and the Bucs are pretty damn near interchangeable at this point. Neither of them are living up to expectations. I don't think either quarterback is having a good year, regardless of their status on what they're supposed to perform. Aaron Rodgers just doesn't look like he cares that much. I mean,
but he just,
I could see him
it seems like he's
definitely
just
in
kind of
year and a half.
going like along for the ride this year. Like he's
Granted,
let's
his
see.
receivers absolutely suck. I mean, might as well throw me in the slot and see what I can do. But I mean, you're going into the season knowing that you're not going to be very good on the outside. You got a game plan. You got a scheme to get those guys open, and they just haven't.
And they don't.
We're gonna call from the buzzsaw. 1 second.
Of the buzz.
What's up? All right, we're on the last topic before the picks.
So what, like 5-10 minutes?
Probably 10, 15.
All right.
We'll give you a call.
Is it for real?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Okay, we'll give you a call here.
All right, I'll run out. Okay. Just, give me a call in like 15 minutes.
All right, cool. All right, bye.
The saw.
The saw. All right. Dylan, do you have any more to add?
I mean, they're a toss-up. They're a coin flip on if I think they're going to turn.
They don't give Aaron Jones a fucking ball. And he's their best player on offense, probably. So I don't understand it.
Yeah, we're getting 3 7s here. They don't run the ball and they can't stop the run. And if they can't stop the run, it may not even matter if Rodgers and these receivers figure it out. Like if they keep him off the
Exactly.
field. So I'm gonna say a 7. Next up, the LA Rams.
I'm gonna put the Rams ahead of both these. I'm gonna put them at a 9.
Woo, baby.
The thing I've said from preseason with these Rams is their offensive line is absolutely a flaming hot.
It
bag
is
of
quite
dog shit.
shitty. I will say that.
And now they lost their mid left tackle, Joe Noteboom, who's now out for the year. So
Mid's
it's
a
only
stretch.
mid's even a stretch. So it's only going to get worse. And outside of Cooper Kupp, I mean, Allen Robinson looks like a shell of himself.
He had a good week. He had a good week.
He had a good week, but
Finally.
he cannot gain any
the white
separation. But then again, I think last year their offensive line was pretty damn good. They had Whitworth in there. They had Austin Corbett. Missing Corbett too. They can't run the ball, and it was my thing from the get-go. It's like if you have Matthew Stafford with a terrible offensive line who is turnover happy, it's going to lead to losing the turnover battle, which in the NFL, if you lose a turnover battle, 9 times out of 10, you're losing the games. And their defense has been good, but then again, that defense cannot hold up with only 3 real players on there with Aaron Donald, Bobby Wagner, and Joe Ramsey. Yes, they're all great in their own sense, but they don't make the defense the best in the league with just those 3 players. And it comes down to the O-line ultimately, in my opinion. Like
It's
if you
fucking
don't
up.
have an O-line, if you have like a bottom few O-line with a quarterback that's not mobile, which Stafford's not mobile at all, then it's a recipe for disaster. I mean, even if they go and get OBJ, which who knows if they will at this point, I don't know how much he's really going to help.
Yeah, because
at this point.
you got to get time for him.
Yeah, exactly. And I truly think that the Rams have a very realistic shot of missing the playoffs this year.
Absolutely.
Yep. I'm also going to go with the 9 as well, Cole, and pretty much for the same reasons you said. I mean, that offensive line is looking absolutely dog shit. The fact that I think I would take the Texans offensive line over the Rams offensive line is absolutely outrageous, but I totally would right now from what I've seen so far. They're just really inconsistent up there. Clearly, teams know that the ball is going to go to Cooper Kupp. They can't fully stop him, but they plan for that. They're not making any plays down the field, really. In fact, the most exciting play I think I saw last week was a Cooper Kupp stiff arm on a screen pass from him last week on offense.
A stiff arm?
A stiff arm on a screen pass last week for about 11 yards. So there's just no explosive plays like there were last year. And that's really because to make those plays, you need time to make those throws. And they're really missing Andrew Whitworth right now. I think they really missed out on the Dwayne Brown sweepstakes because clearly the Jets are using him to a T and running the shit out of the ball right behind him on the left side and the other young low line. But really, it's just that offensive line is shitty, and the defense probably would be playing better if they weren't on the field so much because they don't look that bad on defense. It's just they're giving up points, and just because they're put in spots that are hard to deal with, and they're just always on the field. So when you're turning the ball over inside the 20 or turning the ball over in the red zone, it's going to make things tough. So I'd say a 9, and I don't think they're making the playoffs either.
I think I'm going to put them at a 6. I think that they are a better team than the Bucs and the Packers at this point. I think that their offensive line is dog shit, but I think that in time, Allen Robinson is going to come back to his normal Bears self. I think that once that cohesiveness is a little bit more fulfilled, I think that they'll turn it around better than what they have. I'm looking at their schedule right now. And 49ers next week. It's good defense. But there's nothing other than the Chiefs that scare me on this schedule. I think that they're not playing good football, but they don't have to play great football to make the playoffs in this situation. I think they just almost need to survive in advance. If they can figure out the offensive line ever so slightly, I think they're going to be in a decent position. I don't think that they're going to make a deep playoff run, but I think they're good enough with the talent on the outside to compete for a decent playoff spot.
What number did you give them? Sorry, I missed
6.
it. 6.
So you think they make the playoffs?
I think they make the playoffs, yeah.
I'm going to give them an 8, just for all the reasons that we've listed out, mainly the offensive line being the main issue. I mean, their only hope is that they do have Sean McVay, who we're going to really find out how good of a coach he really is here and how much of an offensive guru he truly is. And, I mean, like you said, they're going to have to survive in advance, honestly, is what it's looking like. I mean, they should have beat the Panthers by more than 14. They should have scored more than 24
And the
points against
Panthers
them.
were in that game.
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers,
for a while.
Panthers blow. I mean, they should have been the game more. It's definitely an 8 for me. They're not showing a shit ton of signs of life here. Not a lot of convincing things going on there. But hey, things change. So, all right. Also, Luke is not going to be in on the picks. He said he has to go to sleep. Got to wait at 5:30. Become the next best lawyer in the country. So All right, next up, 49ers.
49ers, I'll put them at a 3.
Wow, not a 1
Not
or
a
a 0?
Just jerking them off.
Yeah.
I'll put them at a 2. I'll put them at a 2. Just because of the fact we already talked about this, but they missed 11 starters. Is Trent Williams going to come back at any point this year?
I think he's coming back next
Yeah,
week.
he should be
actually.
back soon.
Talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Within the next couple of
They'll
weeks.
get their two dogs back. They'll get Trent Williams. They'll get Bosa back. I mean, the front seven's nasty. We all know that. The secondary's improved this year. The defense is legit. I mean, especially with D'Amico Ryans is going to get a head coaching job.
Houston Texans, I pray, because he was a fucking all-pro. I pray to God we get him. Oh, my God.
That'd be great.
That'd be great.
Franchise.
Hey,
that would be great
off topic, but by the way, rumor on the street around H-Town, Andre Johnson might be the new VP of football operations for the Houston Texans.
I love that.
Yeah,
No shit.
Andre's a
check out his
dog.
Instagram. He just posted a pic just behind the Texans background and him over at his hall, like his Ring of Honor induction, and no comment or anything. Just a subtle Texans post. So,
Okay.
All right, that wraps up.
sorry,
Texans
yeah.
talk. All right, Niners.
Sorry.
But yeah, I'll keep him at a 2, just based on all the reasons I've said.
Love your family, Mickey.
I mean, I know Jimmy G is not the best quarterback in the world, but we've seen him in this Shanahan offense. We know how good he can be. Shanahan, I think, is above McVay as the best offensive mind in this league. And they'll get Elijah Mitchell back in a few weeks too. They'll get Trent Williams back. They'll get Nick Bosa back. They have all the pieces in place, and I think once come playoff time, if this team's healthy, which if they're relatively healthy, they're going to be a team that nobody wants to face, just like last year.
I'm going to say that they are a 4. The only reason I say that as of right now is purely because of the record as it sits right now. And then also because Jimmy G also has injury woes himself. And I think that's going to start kind of rearing its head around here in a little bit. But they did have, like Nicole mentioned, a ton of injuries last week. I think that was kind of a fluke game because the game before that, they looked like absolute world beaters. Looked like they were ready to go and back in full form. So I think it's really just a consistency thing. But once they figure it out and once they're able to stop using George Kittle as just a blocker, I mean, he got 8 catches last week, but he needs to be doing that consistently basically for them to really be who they should be. And then once they get Elijah Mitchell back also, that's also big for them, I think. Jeff Wilson's done a great job, but Elijah Mitchell proved that he's a really good almost every down running back. He just needs to prove that he can stay healthier. But they're on the up and up, and that defense is, I think, a top 5 defense. So when you have something like that in the coaching they have and the identity that they have, I think it's a recipe for success still. And they showed that they've been better, unlike some of the teams like the Packers or the Buccaneers who've shown that they look like absolute dog shit. They've actually shown signs that they are a very dominant team. So I'm going with the 4.
I'm going to go with the 4 as well. Basically, I didn't think that they are going to be in deep playoff contention at the beginning of the year, and I still don't know if I truly believe that. I think 500 for the first 6 weeks is kind of on par with what I kind of had them in the preseason. So it's not like they're not playing to expectations. It's not like they're exceeding my expectations. I can see them right around 500, if not 2 games above. That's kind of my expectations for the year. So I don't think that they're really that far away from what I anticipated in the beginning of the year.
So come playoff time, if they're healthy, you don't think they can make a run like they did last year?
I mean, I have never believed
The
in the
state of this
49ers.
NFC?
I think that the Cowboys should have beaten them last year. I think that them getting to the NFC Championship was kind of a fluke.
But the thing is, though, when they made the Super Bowl, this is kind of the same core that they had.
It is, but I think the NFC is better. The top of the NFC is better than it was a year, 2 years ago. Other than when the Bucs went to the Super Bowl last year, obviously the Rams. I think the Cowboys are stifling.
So you're big on the Cowboys.
I am a
Are
big
Cowboys making the Super Bowl in your opinion?
I mean, they have a very good shot. If Dak comes back and Dak looks good, if he looks like a top 12, 10 quarterback in the league, I think that defense is going to roll through every single offense. I don't think Jimmy G can move the ball on the Cowboys very well. I don't believe that much in Jimmy G as a deep playoff contender of a quarterback.
That's
But
fair.
that's me.
That's fair. I'm going to go with a 3. I think they'll be fine. I mean, they'd have to have another couple of bad losses for me to truly get concerned. But, I mean, we've seen Shanahan and Jimmy do good, make the playoffs, have playoff success. So, and their defense is better than it was last year. Their secondary is better than it was last year, and that's even with losing Mosley for the year. So, I mean, assuming they got their horses going to the playoffs, I mean, that's definitely a team that could make it to the Super Bowl just with the formula they have. Next up, this is going to be fun. The Denver Broncos.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
10.
Is there an 11?
And what's his scale on?
How high can we turn this bitch up?
Yeah. I'm going to need more than
we're
10.
pretty all in.
Yeah,
The
I
house
think
is
this would
on
be
fire.
yeah, call the fire department. I mean, the Broncos. We've mentioned this, but Hackett looks like he's some
Awful.
kid playing Madden out there as a head
Just
coach.
idiotic.
Maybe not. I think my Madden. I think your NCAA
He has
skills.
no
Biggie, would probably be better
chance.
suited
No chance.
for this roster. But I mean, then we got Danger Russ, just being a clown. I mean, the defense is obviously great, but this offense is just poop.
So
It's
fucking
just
bad.
poop. I don't think there's much to say about it. It's hot. It's on fire.
It is what it is.
I mean, I think we're all at 10s at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a 10 for me. I think he's the worst coach. I think Nathaniel Hackett is the worst coach in the NFL. So that's a
Fair
problem. I think that Russell Wilson is obviously playing like absolute fucking dog shit right now, and part of that's because of the coaching as well. He's in a new place. He's just trying to do what obviously he's Russ, and he should be having a lot to say there, but he is also the new guy there as well. So he's got to get used to everyone in that building. So that's kind of a problem. And then the defense is just doing too much for him. I'm worried because they're doing so much. They're going to run into some injury problems. They got some guys that are injury prone. Randy Gregory's injury prone. He was healthy last season, but he was so good when he's healthy, but he is injury prone. Bradley Chubb is consistently injury prone. He's been a monster, looking like the number 3 pick that he was when they drafted him, but he's consistently hurt. Surtan's playing out of his mind. The linebacking unit,
Secondary stacks.
linebacking unit has already taken a hit with Josie Jewell still out, and who know how he's going to play after that injury because it is the shoulder injury for him. So
Brandon Browning is a stud.
Brandon
as well.
Browning,
Good.
Who?
Brandon Browning is
Yeah.
Oh, was it that linebacker? Yeah,
56.
he went
he's
off
very
last
good,
night.
and they got some guys, but I don't know when you're putting them in situations like this, and how fucking pissed I would be if I was a defensive player with how much they've had to do and put up with because of Russell's bullshit. I think it's a recipe for a disaster. So I'm saying a fucking 10. So
Yeah, all around.
10's all around.
10's all around.
Anything else to say? I think we summed it up.
I mean, I just don't think there's an answer.
Yeah.
I don't think that they know that there's an answer. There's not one clear
Hackett surely won't find it the answer.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
okay, next up, Arizona Cardinals.
Oof.
This is another one that's pretty damn high. I'll put him at a 9.
Not quite a 10.
I kind of want to put him at a 10, but I'll put him at a 9. I mean, and we've got on these guys too. I mean, like, Cliff Kingsbury. I think it's time he's gone.
Get
the
the
air
fuck
raid
out.
offense
Yeah,
doesn't work in the
get
NFL.
out of there.
I think they need to run an RPO system with Kyler. The personnel, offensive line, defense, not very good. I mean, outside of J.J. Watt and Budda Baker. And, is Isaiah Simmons playing?
He
good
is,
this
but they
year?
only use him for like certain situations. They don't use him like every down. So
I forgot he was still on
yeah,
that team.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
So, they don't have a defense that's going to, elevate the offense, put them in favorable spots. And then Kyler Murray also, doesn't know how to watch film, and he's next call that he's about to come out too.
That's a
So
problem.
that's bad.
They're I could very well see this team going like 6-11 this year and having a high draft pick, and then a new guy coming in. I'll put him at a 9. But then again, though, my other thing too with them though is I didn't have super high expectations for them though, like some of these other teams.
Right.
No.
So,
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 9 also, pretty much for a lot of the same reasons you mentioned, Cole. Especially mainly that I didn't really think they were going to do that great this season in the first place. But I think Cliff is just not the guy. I think that just needs to get out of there.
you're not.
Yeah,
that guy,
I mean, he's
pal.
shown repeatedly that he'll either get off to a hot start and fuck it up in the end, and I don't see him turning it around to where he has a shit start and gets better. Because he shows he doesn't really get better. He just kind of goes with what the team's doing and how that's all going and how it fits in the scheme. He's not making them any better. He's not He's not elevating any players' potential and making them better players. I mean, none of their picks are really looking that great right now. So there's a lot of issues with that, and a lot of that is just he's just not the guy. So I'm saying 9.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 9 as well. I mean, they haven't lived up to expectations. They're not that good of a football team. Their schedule doesn't get any easier. There's not much that's going for them right now that makes me want to say, yeah, they can turn it around.
Yeah, D-Hop's coming back, though.
I mean, the only things that I can say is D-Hop and Robbie Anderson, but then that's nullified by Marquise Brown. So it's like, I don't.
It's hard to take the glass half full for this team.
Yeah. No. I've had to watch Cliff Kingsbury for 5 years being a Tech.
Hey, sweet.
It's just,
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah,
it is not
it's awful.
fun.
It's fucking horrible. So, yeah, he needs to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 9. There's no coming back from this. He's a guy that, I mean, he just, even when they start off fucking 6-0, 7-0, whatever the hell they were last year, like he collapses in the second half all the time, and I don't think that's going to change now that they're, 2-4? Are they 2-4?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
2-4. Yeah. All right. Last up, Baltimore Ravens.
I'm putting the Ravens at a 1. I'm not really that worried about the Ravens. Like I mentioned, they could easily be 6-0 right now. And my expectations for the Ravens coming in this year, I didn't expect them to be in that Bills-Chiefs tier of one of these mega, super AFC teams. I expect them to be a playoff team that can contend. And I still believe that they will be right in there in the playoffs in the AFC contending. But when you look at the whole roster, like we said earlier, I mean, the offensive line isn't very good. The weapons outside of Mark Andrews are not very good at all either. The secondary is good, but the front seven sucks. So it's really a John Harbaugh, Lamar Jackson team that'll probably, in my opinion, go 10-7 or something like that. Maybe win a wild card round. If they get lucky, win the divisional round, and then that's all there is, and that's all that I thought they'd be. So I'm keeping them at a 1. I think they're right on par from what I had them going at.
Yeah, I'm going to say they're a 3 for me. The only real thing I have for them that I think could lead to them having issues is really just the lack of options outside of Mark Andrews. But I think that's going to work itself out. I think Lamar's just a little too talented to not make it work. The division's pretty competitive, but luckily the Steelers and Browns aren't really looking too great this season, so those should be easy wins whenever they play again. So that'll help them out in their schedule. So I think they're figuring it out. I think Lamar's just trying to figure it out, trying to get that cohesiveness with some of those new guys that he's got to work with in the receiving core. And then once he kind of opens us up, and hopefully maybe once they pay him, he starts playing better and starts actually, taking some more hits and things like that, because there are a couple of times he ran out of bounds in the last game where I think if there weren't issues regarding his contract and his pay, that he would have kept going for those extra yards, but instead he alluded to take the safer route and because he needs to protect himself at the same time. But he's just doing too much right now, and I think he'll calm down. He's too talented to keep playing like that consistently, so I'm saying a 3.
I'm going to put him at a 3 as well. I think they're still a very good ball club. I think that they are more of a threat to the AFC than a lot of people think. But Lamar's just got to calm down in late game situations. He's been missing overthrows, been missing pretty routine stuff while he's out on the run. I just think if they want to be a serious contender, he's just got to slow down and play a little bit better execution of football. But I'm not too concerned on them. They're still a good ball team. I do think that their weapons are a little underrated. I think Devin Duvernay has really exceeded expectations this year. But, yeah, their weapons aren't the best, but Lamar's not doing a whole lot to really help him out in some good clutch situations.
I'm going to put them at a 5. Like I've mentioned before, this is the third time now that they've blown double-digit point leads in the fourth quarter, and you got to win those games in this league. And they definitely could certainly turn around. They have a good head coach in John Harbaugh. Lamar Jackson is very talented, and they could definitely turn this thing around. But they do give me some concern with the way they've handled these leads late. And I mean, Lamar would have to change his. It's been a little bit erratic these last couple of weeks, and he needs to calm things down a little bit. And their defense hasn't exactly been fucking great. So,
I mean, their front seven's trash.
It's not great. I mean, they're
It's
bringing in
trash.
Jason Pierre. They're bringing in three-finger Paul.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, they got him and
He's still producing.
Justin Houston.
38.
Producing.
They got 3 guys that are 36 plus on that D line that were great 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And Calais Campbell.
Yeah, Calais
Well, he
Campbell's
is
the
still
other
a
one.
stud. I think
he's still a stud. He's still great.
He's not in that category yet, but
Yeah. But
everything else, underperforming on line.
Yep. All right. Next up, everyone's favorite Week 7 against the spread picks. Cole, you're the man up for
All
the.
right.
Yeah, you got to put the picks in this
All right,
week.
I will steer this ship
Yeah,
for this one.
or Cole,
alrighty.
Are
You
you
gotta put the
pulling
picks
up
in.
all like the spreads and everything?
I'll have the spreads.
Brophy
Okay,
will pull
cool.
them up. I will submit them in. All right, yeah. So we had a very, very good week last week. All right, so it's loading here. All right, fans or 22 football spreads. Fuck yeah. Okay, so last week, I know he's not on here, but shout out to the Buzzsaw. The Buzzsaw went 11-3 on his picks last week. So
Hell
if
of
you're
a
taking
week.
Buzzsaw's picks, you're making money. I went 10-4. Brophy went 9-5, and Aaron, who was on last week, went 8-6. So everybody was 2 games plus
Yep.
above 500. It was a real good betting week last week.
Are we 2-1 on the locks?
2-1 on the locks, and in the past 3 weeks, or I think last 4 weeks on locks, we are 9-1-1. So
Some pretty good locks.
if you're
Stuff.
betting PTA locks, if you bet PTA locks the past 3 weeks, which I don't know, probably none of y'all are, but if you are,
you should start.
you should start because we're gonna make y'all some money, and this week we're gonna follow back up and make some more damn moolah. All right, but week 7, let's get into it.
Real quick,
Brophy.
I have a couple notes real quick.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So the 3 best teams against the spread this year so far through 6 weeks: Atlanta at 6-0, the Giants at 5-1, and the Bills at 4-1-1. The Jets are 3-0 on the road against the spread this year so far. And then just a couple notes for this week. The Jags are playing the Giants this week. Since 2012, the Jags are 8-35 against the spread against NFC teams.
Jesus.
So that's pretty startling. This team is better than what they've had. And then next is Jimmy G. The Niners are playing the Chiefs, and they're underdogs. Jimmy G is 16-4 against the spread as a dog.
Did you mention the Vrabel one?
No, I think, what is he, 8-0 against the
8-0,
spread on
coming
the
off a
bye?
bye.
Coming off the
Yep.
bye? Yeah. Pretty incredible numbers there.
Don't tell me that.
All right, starting things off. Thursday night, Saints go to Arizona. Saints are at +1.
I am taking the Saints +1, and this is one of my favorite ones. of the
Same
week, honestly.
here.
I don't know how you bet on
Same
Arizona
fucking
with
here, Cole.
What we've mentioned here.
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, I think +1 is. I mean, you're basically getting them at a money line. The Saints are entertaining.
They are. I mean, their offense has been putting up points, even with Andy Dalton in there, and we know their defense has been the part of the team letting them down, and we know how good that defense can be. Did
I
Luke
think you
send you
have
his
to.
picks?
No, he said he's going to put him in the morning.
Okay, I'll put him in.
Yeah. Yeah, I got Saints too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all on New Orleans +1.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, also too. So, whichever one y'all wanted your lock, just
Do we need
Shout
a
it
different
out.
lock?
I haven't looked at that.
Do we need a different?
What
Do we need like?
different
Can we
lock?
all have the same lock? I guess.
No,
no,
you guys haven't been doing that.
everybody's got a
Or the
different
Saints
lock.
your lock, Cole?
Nope.
Yeah, I want them to be my lock. Actually,
All right, Big E's lock is the New Orleans Saints.
I'm just hoping no one takes mine. All right. Do you have them all put in?
Yep.
Okay. Next up, the Giants go to Jacksonville. Giants are +3
Giants at Jacksonville.
at Jacksonville.
That seems like a goddamn trap if I ever seen one.
That's what, when
Yeah.
I first looked at the lines,
Wait.
that one just seems like a full on trap there because in every world of logic, the Giants should be -3.
Yeah,
against the Jags.
something is
Right?
up with
Like-
that.
There's something
Yeah.
fishy going on there. But
I like the over of 42.5 in this game. That's
Yeah.
I'd rather be on that than bet
I'm-
this
I'm-
trap line.
Well, you got to pick
it's
one.
a
I'm
fucking
right.
trap
That's a
line,
trap
though.
line if I ever fucking seen one. But I guess I'm gonna fall victim to it. I got to go with the Giants +3 from what I've seen from them this season.
I'm going to agree, even though I'm
don't
not
we?
confident in it.
If it was at 2.5, I'd take the Jags. But since at 3, like I'm honestly gonna play for the push and take the
Yeah,
Giants.
I'm taking plus. Yeah,
So-
that reeks of a trap.
Dylan, are you on Giants +3?
I have to be.
Yeah, okay. We're all on Giants +3, and that one could easily come. That one could easily bite us in the
Easily,
ass, but
yeah. We'll
whatever.
have to see.
That one right there is the definition
yeah.
of a trap game right there.
Oh, absolutely.
Jags are 2 and 3. Like, there's no reason they should be a 3-point favorite.
Ugh, I don't like it.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Jags are 2 and 4 against the spread this year.
Yeah.
And what
Yeah,
Brophy
yeah,
said
they're gonna
earlier
recover.
about them against the NFC.
Wait, are the Jags 2 and 4?
Yeah.
The record.
Yep, 2 and 4.
Giants are
Waxed
5
the
and
Colts
Dude,
and waxed the
it's-
Cardinals
oh.
and got
But the thing is,
waxed by everything
the
else.
Giants could still very well lose this game. The Jags have been in all the games they've played, and the Giants haven't.
But the
been
fact they're
giving
giving us a field goal on it.
yes is a bit much.
Like, yeah.
But okay, next up, the Falcons go to Cincinnati. Falcons are +6.
This one, I know the Falcons are 6-0 against the spread right now, but this one feels like a trap in my mind.
Oh yeah,
too.
100%.
And
6 is just too many points, man.
I'm gonna go Cincy -6. I know I shouldn't bet against the Falcons based on what they've been doing against the spread, but I'm gonna go Cincy -6.
Are they in Houday territory?
They are.
Yeah, man. Only because I like that trap setup more so than I do the Giants one. I'm going also with the Bengals -6 as well. I think, yeah, that's just that's a trap
Because
too, but it's like
this
that's
whole
not as
season
bad
I
to
have been
me.
waiting for the Falcons to get exposed for who
Yes.
they are because they're not that
And
good
the
of a
Bengals
team in
defense has
reality,
been
but they've
pretty
They're
good against
scrappy
the
though.
run.
They're scrappy.
scrappy.
Other than they have the most creative running scheme in the league.
Oh yeah.
But other than
Bengals
that,
have been good against the run this year though too, so I think that might bite them in the ass. So
I don't want to agree with y'all. But
it's a trap.
Are
Yeah.
you going Cincy? Okay.
I think Cincy is due for a
A blowout.
A nuclear.
win to show the world if they're actually good or not.
Yeah.
Well, the Falcons put Casey Hayward on IR today too.
Oh, okay. There you
I
go.
can see that, but
I'm gonna
Does
tell.
that mean Matt Hankins is getting called up? Our
He
boy?
just might.
Our boy might get called up.
That's Luke's boy. I'm gonna take Cincy -6 too.
All right. So we are all on all
I don't
unanimous
love
agreements
it,
right
but
now for
it-
all these first three.
I don't like
like
it,
it.
I
but
don't like it either. I don't like that one or
Yeah.
the Giant. The only one I like the
Yeah.
New Orleans one,
to
but
preface, I have not placed a sports wager this year
yeah,
in NFL.
you need to bet on my
yeah, you
book.
should. I've been donating money to him all fucking year. Yeah.
I got this guy on my book too.
So if I go winless, it's not on me.
You won't go winless. It'd be
It'd actually be a
pretty
thing in its
incredible
own
if you
to be
went
proud
winless.
of.
Honestly, yeah. If you're not gonna be, if you're not gonna be the best, be the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point.
It's harder to make a 0 on a test than it is.
All right. Next up, the Lions come to Dallas. Lions are +7. I'm sorry, 7.5. 7.5.
Oh, they put it at 7.5. It was at 7
Uh-huh.
earlier today.
I'm taking 7.5.
I like the
I think
I
this
like the
offense
over in this
is good
game.
enough to hang
I like
on.
the over in this game.
Over's at 48.
I like the over.
Total's
I
at
like the
48.5.
over in this game more than anything.
Okay, this is a game too to where if I know Dak's projected to play right now, but if they announce Dak's out and Rush is playing,
This
then
is
we
the
can
switch.
this later in the week. Or no, this won't because we have so we have hypotheticals to where we have just Dylan, so you know we have one switch every week. So after we pick these lines here, if you want to switch between like after this and then Sunday, you can do a switch. And then also we have
If a
there's
starting quarterback
if it's
gets
a
hurt.
quarterback swap, then you could switch it too. Because the line's going to fluctuate
I'm gonna
dramatically.
see the
if
Lions
quarterback's out.
+7.5.
See, I'm seeing 7 on all my lines. DraftKings.
I'm
uses
going
FanDuel.
Cowboys -7.5. Man, I honestly think that from seeing how y'all play without Dak, I think that's gonna.
So is it 7 or 7.5?
I'm seeing 7.
Well, there's one that has 7.5, but all the other main lines have 7.
Let's do 7 then. I'll do
All right,
7.
Yeah,
I'll
let's
do 7 for the
7.
Cowboys, mainly because I honestly think that getting Dak back is actually going to light a fire in y'all again. Just because of how y'all, I think y'all were surprised with.
Yeah.
I think y'all were
-7.
surprised with how well they
I'm
went.
going to go Dallas
Yeah.
-7 too.
I'm gonna ride the +7.
So
I think the
you're
Lions.
on lines.
I think the Lions' offense is good enough to compete. I don't think they're good enough to win, but I think they could cover in this game.
Okay, so you're +7. You're Dallas
Yeah.
-7, and Brophy, you are Detroit +7.
I'm Dallas -7.
You're Dallas. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Dallas as well.
All right.
Even though I don't really like that one either, though. Honestly.
Well, my thing is, like, I mean, the Patriots, like, what they beat him? Like, what was it? Did they shut him out?
They killed him. With
Yes.
Bailey Zappi.
But that was the first. That was the first game that the Lions have looked bad offensively. They've been salty almost every game.
Yeah, but
Also,
I don't think the Patriots defense is gonna allow them
DeAndre
to
Swift
look
might
good.
be playing this week,
Yeah.
for whatever that's worth.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Browns go to Baltimore. Browns are +6.5.
I'm going Baltimore -6.5.
Give me the Browns.
I'm going Baltimore. Lamar revenge game inbound. Browns defense has not looked good.
I'm gonna go.
Was it
Baltimore
6
as well.
or 6.5?
30%.
6.5.
6.5. Yeah.
So you are both
I'm Baltimore.
Baltimore. Okay.
I think everyone's Baltimore but me.
Okay.
I think they're just a better ball club than the Browns by a touchdown.
All right. Next one.
The Titans travel to Tennessee. Titans are -2.5.
I'm going Titans -2.5.
Where did the Titans go?
Lock.
I'm taking Titans
Titans.
-2.5, and I'm calling that my lock.
Oh, you bastard!
Titans,
You
Colts.
bastard!
Titans Colts.
I should have pulled the trick.
Yeah,
In Nashville.
Titans off a bye. Titans -2.5.
All I had to hear was that Vrabel record. You gonna pick your Colts?
I can't not. I think that starting Dennis Kelly this week at left tackle has truly changed our offense. I don't think they sweep us for the second year in a row.
They beat y'all first game.
Yeah, they beat us by Tutty 21-17, if my memory serves me correct. First game, week 3. I'll take the points. I think it will be a close game, but I don't see them sweeping us for 2 years in a row.
Yeah, that is what I worry about is them not sweeping. But I'm just afraid off a bye, and it's just I like the Titans.
Good coaches off a bye. Good recipe.
No, that's making noise.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Next up, Packers travel to DC. Packers are -5.5. Let me make sure that's correct. Yeah, 5.5.
I'm gonna go Commanders +5.5.
I did the same thing last week, but I'm taking the Packers in a get
Same
back
here.
spot.
Packers in a get back spot.
Commanders have been covering for me.
I'm taking the Commanders. I think the Commanders are better with Taylor Heineke.
I do
behind the
too.
wheel.
I hate it so much, but I'm taking it.
Don't pack.
I don't
probably
like,
gonna-
I don't like any of these lines.
They're probably gonna get me
These
again.
lines
but
are kind of.
I'm a
Biggie, you're on
pack.
pack. Okay.
all right. Next up, Tampa Bay heads to Carolina. They are. Let me check.
I think they're 10.5.
Do we have to have
Yeah.
a lock?
10.5.
Big lock.
Yeah. And
I'm
it
just
has
10
to be,
and a
it has
half.
to be
I'm
spread. It
taking-
can't be over under.
Nope, it's got to be spread. I'm taking Tampa Bay -10.
Yeah, the
So
Rams
am I.
beat them by
I'll take
10.
Tampa Bay.
So, yeah, they should be able to.
I would imagine.
And the Rams looked like they were
Exactly.
losing. I mean, who are the Panthers starting at QB this week?
That's a good question.
Are they starting PJ Walker again?
I don't know.
It could be Jacob Eason.
Tampa
Jacob Eason is
Tampa
the
Bay
worst
might
quarterback in the
Tampa Bay
NFL.
might be my lock. That might
Let
be
me
my
put that
lock.
on record.
Yeah,
We
you
still
have
got
some
three more.
experience
We still
watching
got
them.
3 more locks to dish out here.
I'm gonna take the Buccaneers and
Say your
This
lock.
also reeks of a
It's-
potential Brady
it's
revenge
very
game.
But it does.
that 0.5.
The only scary part is they just lost to the
That's true.
Steelers.
That
So.
0.5 scares me as the cover. If I was gonna take that as my lock, let me hold my lock.
I always hold my lock till the end.
I'm gonna take the
Biggie, are you Bucks?
Yeah, I'm Bucs -10.5.
Yeah,
Okay.
give me the Bucks.
Okay, we're on Tampa.
All right, next up, Jets travel to Denver. Jets are +1.5.
Give me the Jets.
I mean, I think this is
Yeah,
a
give me
no-brainer.
the fucking
I
Jets.
logically,
Give me
yeah.
JET Jets, motherfuckers.
I mean,
Yeah, 89% of the bets and 85% of the money's
Ooh.
on the Jets.
I mean, I'm seeing
Everything's on the
MG,
Jets.
MG,
I don't like
MGM
that.
has
But
them at
haven't you
2
said the
points.
public has been losing a lot recently?
You mean
or winning?
I mean,
not. I mean, it's been. It doesn't really matter the last couple weeks
It's
now.
just
It
hit or-
mattered for the first couple.
Now
weeks.
it's just hit or miss.
I mean, the
Yeah.
public overwhelmingly lost on the over for the Bills Chiefs, but that
Oh, yeah.
that was just kind of a a trap game in itself.
I don't like all
That's just
I don't like all
what are
the
you on?
favorites I have
Yeah.
though, because there's so many underdogs have been winning.
Yeah, the underdogs are covering at a 60% this.
Yeah.
For the most part, we're all kind of on the same
That
track
too.
here for
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
these games.
We'll
It's
have to
kinda
fucking
scary.
see.
Yeah.
I might switch one or two of these. I don't know. Hollywood, who are you on? Jets.
Give me the Jets.
It's just hard to like pick the Broncos.
Yeah,
as a
like, from
favorite
what-
now.
I know.
Especially against
Until they show
I
me
haven't
something.
seen a
especially
damn
against the
thing out of
Jets who look really good right now. It's hard to pick them. Like,
Yeah. All right. Next up, Texans +7 in Vegas.
I'm going Vegas.
Fuck you,
-7.
Zans +7.
I think Vegas is gonna. They're desperate. They're 1-4 right now. I think they're gonna. That might be my lock. I
The
think they're gonna
Damian
steamroll.
Pierce show.
Give me the
Damian Pierce show tomorrow, this
Give me the-
Sunday, boys. Get ready.
Give me the Texans +7.
I'm taking Raiders. I think they're a much better ball club than they've played this year.
Yeah, I think they're desperate.
Playing
They're
at home, I
clawing.
mean, this is damn near a win or die situation.
Everyone-
Yeah.
If they won
They're,
any chance,
is it in Vegas too?
Yeah.
Okay.
if they won any chance
Zan's
of making the
Zan's
playoffs,
gonna
they're
put up a
have
fight.
their-
That's all you need to know. We're fighters. That's what we do. We got bigger hearts than they do. All right, that's what we do.
Oh yeah.
I wish I could hit that vape.
Yeah, you
right
probably
The fact
wish.
that y'all
Yeah,
tied us week one.
Yeah, Lovey's got
big
big
heart.
hearts.
Love it.
All right. Chiefs.
Levy.
Chiefs go to San Fran. Chiefs are -3.
Now. This is a tough one.
I'm going Chiefs -3.
I'm going Chiefs.
I'm going San Fran +3.
You have to. You have to.
You have to now.
After all this San Fran talk,
Yeah, there's. I mean,
I wish it was 3.5. I'd be a lot more comfortable at 3.5.
is there a possibility of this being a
But-
weather game?
In San Fran, probably not.
I'm going Niners +3.5.
Big East
It's
Niners.
Plus three.
It's
Plus
not
three
3.5.
still.
Yeah.
I'm going Chiefs.
All right.
I think they're a better ball club.
Next up, Seattle +6.5 in Los Angeles against the Chargers.
Ooh, I like the over.
This one feels
What's
like
the
a trap.
over for this?
Seattle
What's the
Seahawks,
over
baby.
for this
This one
game,
feels
boys?
like a trap too. At what point is it to where if they feel like traps, or is it just like we know these teams?
I
enough?
think this week is going to fuck everything up.
I think
spread-wise.
this-
This is
I
a bad
don't
week.
like this week.
I don't
do
like
not.
it.
Like
This is a tough
the past
week.
few weeks, I've been kind of confident in these picks, but this week I
I
could
don't
really
like
see
it.
myself
I don't
going
like
like
it.
5 and 11.
I want to buy the Hawks up to 7 for -130, and then I'd feel a lot better about it.
I might do that too.
Okay, so you're Seattle +6.5.
Yeah, I'm 6.5 plus.
Give me the Hawks.
Give me the fucking Hawks.
Christ.
Fuck it. Let's go, Gino.
They just score enough. They just score enough.
I'm gonna go
points
3 and
to-
11.
Is
this
it
week.
+6 or
They
6 and
score
a
enough
half?
points
So
to
y'all-
hang in any game.
6.5. Yeah, I'll take that.
This is Keenan Allen playing.
That's a
they're
big
saying
thing.
he's supposed to play this week, but
That's
who
big.
actually knows?
But-
Is this in Seattle or
Who
LA?
knows? He's supposed to.
It doesn't. Dude, it doesn't matter. LA doesn't have a home field advantage.
I know. I'm gonna come back to this one. I really don't know.
Okay. Next up, Pittsburgh +7 in Miami.
I'm taking the Dolphins.
Yeah, two back.
Tua's back.
Two back. Give me the Dolphins.
Steelers are not that good. The fact that they beat the Bucs last week, I think, is a fluke.
I'm taking the fish.
Yeah, give me the Fins, man.
I'm not.
I'm gonna take Pitt. I'm gonna be the
All
outlier.
right,
I'm
there you
gonna
go.
take Pitt +7.
Good. Glad there's one.
Yeah, makes me
Yep.
feel better. I bet.
The rest of y'all are Miami
Yep.
-7, right?
All right, and last but not least, give me a great Monday night game. Bears in New England. Bears are +8.
I'm going to England -8.
Give me
So
that.
am I.
I'm seeing a lot 7.5 and a lot 8.
Patriots are leading the NFL in win margin over the last 4 weeks.
I'm going -8. The Bears suck so bad.
This week could. Okay, just for reference, hold on real quick.
Is someone?
The amount of
sorry.
games that we're all on. Okay, we're all on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Ooh, that's a lot.
6. Okay, it's normally around half that we're all on, so
Not horrible.
not horrible.
All right, what are y'all's locks? So,
I still haven't decided.
so Biggie, you have the
Yeah,
Saints,
if
right?
someone else wants the Saints, I'll take the Patriots.
And then I have the Titans.
What are the sharps on? That's what I want to know here, Brophy.
Do you want me to go over every game?
What's the
Nicole, you have to make your lock yourself.
Raiders Houston? No,
Okay.
the Sharps know what they're doing.
Grow
The
up.
Sharps
the
are on
Sharps-
Sharps are on Texans.
Grow a pair.
I was almost thinking about making the Texans my lock.
I'm still going with Vegas.
No, Vegas is rolling.
Go Zanes.
What about Pats?
I'm making my lock +6.5. Seattle Seahawks.
All right,
There's
Dylan's
one-
lock's confirmed.
There's one sharp move on the Patriots.
There's nothing else though.
No, there's nothing else. All the money, like 79% of the money and bets, are on the
What
Patriots.
about Bucks?
I mean, we're on Tuesday.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna definitely it's gonna fluctuate throughout the week for sure.
What about the Bucks?
Is that all the games?
Fuck it.
Yeah.
My lock's the Bucks.
5 sharp moves on the Panthers. Now you're rethinking everything, huh?
Oh, you already said it. We're on film. Clip it.
New England. What about them?
I just told you.
Oh fuck. I do not like this week.
I don't
at
like
all,
it.
man.
I
You
don't
gotta
like
pick
it.
one.
My lock,
I
if
bet on the
I was
Bucks
not
last week and they screwed me.
my lock, if I was not betting on spreads, would be the Colts Titans over.
I would pick the Saints, but
You just never know what Saints team you're gonna get.
I know.
But then you don't know what Cardinals team you're gonna get.
Jets.
So it's
Who are
like-
the Jets playing again?
They are playing the Broncos in Denver.
Yeah. I mean, that line is sporadic. Caesars has them at 1+1. DraftKings, FanDuel has them at 1.5. MGM has them at +2. Points bet.
Hold on one second. I gotta go to Action Network real quick.
Most. Oh my goodness.
Bucks are my lock.
Alrighty then. That wraps that up then, right?
Comeback game for Brady.
This is gonna be a fun week of spreads. All right.
I'm not liking this week for spreads at all.
Yeah, there's a lot of these are obvious, which is never good.
Yeah, no, it's too obvious right now. It's way too obvious.
All right.
It's time for some beers.
Last but not least,
Little fun talk.
we got a 4-round beer draft. Let me draw up the draft board.
Good draw.
Yeah, great, right? All right. How are we gonna pick the order?
You want to go first?
Sure.
Dylan goes second. Big E third. I'll go
We're doing
fourth.
Snake.
Snake.
All right.
Snake draft. Yep.
All right. I'm just going straight generic here. Just give me Miller Lite. I love Miller Lite. I'm taking round 1, pick 1. Miller Lite.
All right.
I'm gonna go with my all-time favorite beer in the Dos Equis draft.
I am going with the old reliable Coors Light as my number 1 pick.
I'm gonna
Can't hate
go
on that one.
Corona Light.
Light, no extra.
No, it's Corona Light. We'll keep it simple here. If I'm going to a bar, I'm getting a beer. That's what I want. And then
So no.
Back to you.
back to me again.
Lone Star.
No.
Brio.
Give me some PBR.
Good ass beer.
I'm gonna go Blood and Honey. I love the Blood
I had a
and
feeling
honey.
you were
do
gonna
like a
go
Blood
there.
and
I
Honey.
love Blood and
That's
Honey.
not a surprising one.
I love Blood and Honey. It's like 8% alcohol. Bang for your buck right there.
Give me a H-Town local favorite. Give me a motherfucking Crawford Bach in this motherfucker. Go Stros. We're winning it again. Hate if you want. Hate us if you ain't it. I don't give a fuck.
A what?
It's the can that has like the old Astro stripes
Yeah.
on it.
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're missing out.
Pretty big.
Dylan.
I mean, I'm getting my top 2 picks here. I'm getting my Mick Ultra, baby.
Oh, I forgot
You
about
can have that one.
Ultra.
The ultimate light beer. People in the camera, if you like IPAs over light beers,
No, fuck
you're
IPAs.
quirky.
Yeah,
and I don't
fuck
like you.
IPAs.
All right. I'm gonna
Wearing
go.
your scarf and shit.
It's like drinking water. Shut up.
All right. I'm gonna go
Oh,
Yingling.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
Bastard.
That's a classic.
And
That's a
then
classic.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Stella after that.
Oh, bold pick.
Not bad though.
Stella's a good beer. Stella's a good beer. Stella's a good beer. Dylan, you're up.
I'm gonna get a little Blue Moon.
It was your Stellar Blue Moon for me.
Switch it up, get a little flavor. Nothing like
There's
a little
not a lot
cold
of
Blue
light
Moon.
beers.
Give me a motherfucking Peroni. Those Italian motherfuckers know what they're doing.
Ooh,
They know what they're doing. Give me that motherfucking Peroni batting 3-hole.
Is Dose
Yeah.
already picked?
Dose has been picked. It was
Okay.
round 1, pick 2.
Okay. Give me Fat Tire.
Ooh, that's personal.
Can't say I've ever had a
Your
fat
last
tire
pick?
right there.
And
you
my
get a Fat Tire?
last pick. I don't have a light beer, but I don't want to pick like Bud Light. I fucking
Fuck
hate
Bud Light.
You already picked Coors,
Yep.
didn't you?
First pick, man.
So all the
light
all
beer
the
other
light
than Bud
beers are
Light.
gone. Michelob's gone. Hold on, I have one. Hold on. Just give me a second, all right?
I'm liking this draft board that I got going on right
Might be able to smoke a whole cigarette before you pick.
Give me a Heineken,
Not bad.
Heine?
Not bad.
a Heine.
When's the last time you've had a Heine?
5 years ago. I don't drink a lot of beer though, so
The
like
Heineken Zero, though, I mean, oof. Ooh, buddy. Big E, last
Last
pick.
pick. Give me a Shiner Bach in this bitch.
That's a good pick.
That's a good
That's a
pick.
good pick.
That's good value.
That's an
that
Wade.
is a good
underrated.
pick.
That's an underrated
Yeah.
pick.
Nothing like a Shiner Bach, man.
Dylan?
Bringing up the rear, the Bud Light Platinum.
Bud Light,
Ooh,
oh,
Platinum?
Platinum.
In
all right.
Shit
my
is
opinion,
awful.
Big dog.
Taste better than a Bud Light. 8% alcohol.
I've never even had a Bud Light.
God, I
Comes-
used to get
honestly.
6-pack of
Comes
Platinums.
in the
have a-
dope navy blue bottle. It's a heavy hitter. It's your 4-hole.
Biggie was around when I
Brophy-
was six
Brophy
pack
left
of
him some platinums, tell you that much. Yeah.
It is
Oh,
it is a beer that will do its job.
This is true. All right, and rounding this thing out, this is not necessarily the best tasting beer, but it's given me a lot of good memories.
Uh-oh.
Give me Keystone.
Mhm.
I'm taking
Okay.
it. I'm taking it.
I'm
late.
glad you snuck that in with the last pick because that beer has gotten it. It's gotten
It has
use.
its place.
gets
It's gotten
its
its
money
use.
worth.
It
has
does.
its
It
place.
does. You can get a 30-pack for like 16, 17
When you're
bucks.
19 and you have someone buy you a fucking
Yep.
30-pack, I mean,
Or you just
kidding me?
walk into Walmart and just steal a pack.
good
Yeah,
value.
Well,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. I mean, it deserves to be on the board
It
at the
does.
very least.
It does.
So, all right, that was quick. All right, let's wrap this thing up. Go pick by pick.
Wait.
Yep.
Oh, wait.
All right, round-
Did I get 5? Oh, okay.
No, we're
never
only
mind
doing
then.
4.
All right. Makes sense.
Okay.
You want to make it
we
5?
we could extend this to 5.
Make it 5.
Oh, I don't know what I'm going with now.
I got
I've got enough for 5.
All right, we'll make it 5. We'll make it
All
5
right.
round.
All right.
I'm
Well, I
kinda
guess it's
scrambling
you
here,
again
though.
then,
I
Brophy.
don't drink a lot of fucking beer.
Hey,
Yeah,
you didn't
give me
do
a
it. You
moment.
didn't do a good enough scout.
I did not. I did not scout it out.
That's a bad GM right there.
It is a bad GM, man. I'm just glad no one picked a fucking IPA. Like I think that's good.
God, I really.
I
I mean, I
fucking
want a
hate it.
Keystone to be
I-
the last
Crawford
pick.
Bach, is it an IPA?
No.
No, Shutter's
No,
not
it's not an
IPA.
IPA.
Actually, is Blood and Honey's not IPA.
It's damn good is what it is.
It's damn good. It's damn good.
I'm gonna go.
yeah, it is.
I'm gonna go classic. Just Budweiser in a bottle.
Bud heavy, baby.
Bud Heavy in a bottle?
That's- I'm
All
good
right.
with that.
Not
It's
bad.
PG.
Not
Not in a
bad.
can.
Not bad.
Gotta be a bottle.
I'm gonna go cliche DFW IPA. Give me a Dallas
Oh, you-
Blonde.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
good. That's
that's
a
good.
short
Alright,
pick,
good.
yeah.
If I was drinking an IPA, it would be a Dallas Blonde, probably. Respect it.
What about the Fugazi?
Not the Fugazi. No.
Big E
I can't believe
Last
no
pick.
one took it.
again.
Give me a fucking Coors Banquet in this bitch. Different beer. Different beer. Got value all over this place.
I don't.
Y'all forgot one thing. Takati's
I almost
still
took
on the
Ducati. You
board.
got
thank
lucky.
God.
You got lucky. I left it for you.
I don't want my.
I'm not
I don't
Mexican,
want my
so I've
beer
never
and my
drank
dinner
Ducati.
in one. I don't want to drink 2 beers and be just bloated out of my mind.
I don't know what the fuck to pick, bro. I don't.
That was last on my draft board.
Is
though.
this the last pick here for me?
Oh yeah, for everybody. I almost went Montucky cold snack. here.
Oh God.
Damn, still nobody has taken Bud Light.
I hate Bud Light. I'm gonna
Yeah.
dig.
I
I'll tell
won't
you
be
what, I've
taking
had.
it.
There was one night I had 12 Bud Lights to the Super Bowl. Oh, buddy, it was a good night, I will say. Good times. That was fucked up.
I don't even know any more beers. I'm like Googling beers right now.
Deep Elm IPA, huh? How does that sound?
Give me Deep Elm IPA, sure.
Ooh.
Sure.
Bad scouting report.
We'll do that.
Big Fade IPA guy.
I'll trust my GM. I'll trust my GM on this one.
All right. Let's roll through it pick by pick. Round one
Wait,
pick.
hold on. Was Yinling picked?
Yeah, I picked it.
Okay, never mind then.
Okay. Round one, pick one. Miller Lite.
The Dos Equis. That's pick number 2.
Coors Light.
Pick number 4, Corona Light. Swing back around. Pick 5, Blood and Honey.
A
Henrik's
Crawford Bach.
ass, but,
Crawford Bach.
Dylan.
We got the Make Ultra.
And pick 8, I go Yingling. Wrapping back around for Stella Artois.
Little third rounder, we got Blue Moon.
Oh, I forgot Blue Moon got picked.
Give me a fucking Peroni, you fucking jabroni. Give me a fucking Peroni.
Peroni, you fucking jabroni. All right.
All right. Last pick of the 4th round, we got a fat tire.
Yeah,
Last
it's a fat
pick
tire.
of the 3rd round, we got a fat tire. Swing back around, first pick of the 4th round. Give me a Heineken too.
Oh
Hey.
shit! Give me a Shiner Bach at 4.
I should have picked Shiner. That was a good pick.
Give me the Bud Platties. The Deep Blues.
May as well pick a 4 Loco at that point.
Exactly. Except it's twice as good as Bud Light is normally.
And then pick number 16, give me a good old-fashioned Keystone Light. And then we're backing that up with a nice Budweiser in a bottle.
Just the little shorties.
What if it's in a can, though?
I'm not drinking a can. It's a bottle.
But you picked Budweiser.
I picked Budweiser in a bottle. I said specifically Budweiser in a bottle. I'm not drinking no damn can, all right? This is America. All right.
We go the Dallas Blonde.
I'll go with a banquet, Coors Banquet, to round it out.
And last pick of the draft, we got a Deep Elm IPA.
And that wraps up the draft, and that wraps up this podcast.
I like my
hell
team.
yeah.
I think
I
I'll
can't
have
hate
the
it.
runaway winner with my team, boys.
I mean, you got
Hey,
a lot.
we'll let TikTok will decide.
Yeah, you
and
got a lot
I
of
think
variety there,
TikTok's,
Dylan.
TikTok's really gonna like my boys.
You got the light beer. You got just little cervezas.
Got
in
some
there, little Blue
culture.
Moon, little flavor. Then you got a Bud Light Platinum.
Got some
to get you
culture.
going, and a Blondie.
Got some
I mean,
culture with my Peroni. Got some local. Got some
I'm
local
I
love.
I should have picked the Michelob. The Michelob was a good pick.
I mean, I think you're last place.
Yeah, I might
Yours
be.
is
I
horrible.
might
I
be.
would never drink your beers.
For someone that doesn't like IPA, for you to go Blood and Honey, Fat Tire, and Deep Elm IPA, that was not. I was
Well,
shocked.
Blood
by
and
that.
Honey and Fat Tires aren't IPAs.
Blood and Honey's got to be an IPA at 7%. That's got to be. An
I don't
IPA.
think it's an IPA.
I don't know if it's an IPA, but it's.
I don't know. I
definitely
don't know
not a-
shit about beers, but all I
It's a
know
craft.
is I drink these beers whenever I'm skiing on a mountain, and they come out with the mugs cold as the mountains, and it tastes
At
fucking
the
great.
mountains.
As the mountains.
Fair enough.
All right, that does it. Cole, where can you get us at?
You can get us on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Discord, off Patreon. Hey, listen here, folks. We are still waiting for the we're still waiting for the first ever PTA Patreon member. Spend the $15. It's worth
Do
it.
it.
You can come on the show. You can be next to Big E here. You can say whatever
Eat
bullshit
whatever you
you
want.
want. Best $15 you'll
It's
ever
like
spend
Joe
in your
Rogan.
life. It's a very safe place. We'll have fun.
Smaller scale.
Beyond that,
Podcast.
yeah. RSS. We're on RSS. We're on Spotify, and RSS for strictly audio viewers. So that's it. Yep.
All right, let's punch the air, baby.
Yep.
See you next week.
Bang.